Hello, hello, everybody. How's it going? Thank you for joining me into my Cinder Google Doc ASMR Part 3. Today we're starting with the bow segment. It's also 100 pages long, man. How can they have so much things to say about bow? And yes, Cinder is coming back to streaming today. We'll see how that go. I'm curious to see if, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that show up in the first stream, but I'm curious to see how that's going to transition into long term. Tamaki68 Rimuru! Thank you so much for the cute squad. Definitely need those subs. Need the support to keep going, because this is a lot. And basically I'm sacrificing video making to do these streams, so thank you so much. What do you mean 11 hours and we're third of a way into it? That seems normal. Yeah. Dude, I had a therapy session today, and I told my therapist about the Google Doc, and she was like, this is insane. This is insane. And she said no one innocent would ever write 1,000 pages. She was just like baffled. She was like, this can't be normal. I was like, no, it's not even normal, even in what we do in the industry. Yes, and she did schedule me another appointment. I will need it after 100 pages, of course. No, dude, after the fillers that we read last section with, like, they were putting screenshots of a conversation with other artists. When you do a Google Doc, like, every line that you put in there should be impactful, and every screenshot that is put in there should immediately support your text. It should be like a college assignment. Dude, you know what? Maybe that's what they should teach in college from now on. How to write apology Google Docs, since they're becoming so frequent. It could actually be a useful class. There was, I think he read, or Cinder, they made us read, what, like 5 pages full of back and forth Discord messages between them and somebody that had nothing to do with the Google Doc, like with the accusations, with nothing. It was just like an exclusivity deal they did with 3 other artists. And instead of showing us a few examples or a few snippets, they showed us just the entire convos with 3 different people. I was just like, what the fuck? This is like a Bleach filler episode. And I usually skip those. This is literally the One Piece meme. Like, guys, I swear to God, this anime gets good after 5 seasons. Guys, I swear to God, this Google Doc gets good after 300 pages. Thank you, Parrot Man. To be fair, I don't want to be accused of taking things out of context, but it's such a dumb accusation in the first place. Hi, Lobiku. Yeah, exactly. You never know what's gonna get hidden in the filler, so you gotta read it. No, but I was waiting for the point when I was reading like the artist stuff. I was like, okay, this is gonna culminate in something or in a conclusion. But no, he just put the screenshots and then he moved on to another point. I was like, what the fuck? What is this? Okay, Today I'm gonna try to do less yapping. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, but I will try. Yes, this is still happening. And by the way, I decided to put my birthday celebration on Saturday. I'm thinking we can do another birthday, a cake. And we could play some Uma, or we can do some Gartic Phone with chat. Oh, we could play some Uma Musume with the chat, no? I wanted to plan this whole thing, but these streams are taking up all my planning time, so... Ugh. I've also been like... Dude, I've been deep in organization since I came back from my vacation. Like, I cleaned my windows today, guys. I cleaned my windows. I feel like an adult. I don't think I've ever done that. They were very dirty. they were very dirty. But every time I opened something today, something was leaking. First, it was like I opened a cupboard, one of my like cleaning products was leaking. I opened my fridge, and every time like a soya sauce was leaking somewhere, and every time I cleaned it, there would be more. We have some spam in Kick. How do you clean with hooves? Well, you just do like circles. Oh yeah, I've been putting it back for a really long time, but it's mostly because of this Google Doc, by the way. I renewed my horse riding classes today. I finally wrote to them. I don't know why I kept putting it off. I mean, it is a lot of money in the first place, but I was like, I need horse therapy after reading all of this, and I need to exercise a little bit more again. Yeah, horse riding horse. Yeah, I want to be a professional Uma. Poor Spirit. Spirit is the one that's been editing our 6-hour streams into digestible segment. And he's trying to trim my yapping and my tangents. Poor Spirit, honestly. Alright, fuck it, let's go. Enough yapping, Rima. Focus up. We're here, part 3 of this Google Doc. We're at Bao's. Now, if you remember, Bao decided to only speak on what Nanoless has decided to share with the public. She talks about how the Nanoless model was cancelled. And she believes that, I now realize that the reason for her silence was because Sinder and Redacted were deliberately sabotaging ongoing commissions and blocking VTubers such as myself from having access to art from Nanoless. And then there was the whole thing with Sacramore. And she shows the conversation with Redacted and Nanoless, with him having several plights against her. More screenshots of them urging Nanoless to cancel the ongoing Live 2D comms. Him discouraging Nanoless of offering the model design for free in exchange of canceling it. He even advised her to do it half price instead. And then she basically disproves the rumors that I think I'm just going from memory here, but I believe the rest of the document is just her disproving what Redacted thought of her about her editor. And then I think her editors also put out statements confirming what she said. And she's basically saying, I didn't steal them. This guy wanted to be in-house with me, etc. And then at the end, she says, why aren't you solving this privately? If you look at the timeline of events from Nano's doc, some of those messages date back years. I found out about this less than 48 hours ago and did not give me common courtesy of talking to me privately about this over those years. My thoughts feeling, my most vulnerable, darkest moment that I shared in confidence with people I thought would be by my side years and years from now, may have been used as information to ruin my chances to have the same VTuber model as someone I thought I was friend, and I don't know how I can ever be the same after this. Let's start. This is Sinder speaking. Bao has always been a great friend to me, and I couldn't own up to being a terrible friend to her when I wrote my apology. I've neglected Bao the same as a lot of other friends of mine, but more than the others in my closest circle. There was so much I couldn't explain my apology about what happened between Red and I over Bao that's all presented below. Because of Red's resentment towards her after he thought she went out of her way to sabotage us at the end of last year, she became a sore topic between us. My partner's opinion of my friend pressured me to treat her differently to avoid any conflict between us. I never tried to talk to Bao about it because I didn't agree with Fred to begin with, and I didn't want to start any drama between us. I was ignorant to the way she felt isolated from me and our other friends earlier this year. She was hurting, and I didn't do anything about it. I'm sorry to her for never addressing the problem when I could have, and I'm sorry I made her feel unwanted. I knew Bao had a model planned with Nano. She showed it to me at WeebCon in March of last year. I also knew that the model was cancelled in August before she told me and her friends. I was told that Nano chose to cancel Bao's model so she could focus on her own content. I have no reason to ask to read Red's messages myself when this happened. When Bao messaged me and our friends, I felt bad that I already knew about it. I saw how excited she was about this model, but I didn't do anything to try and help her. I think she's talking about that Discord message where Bao says Smoj, Nanoless had to drop me as a client, and Sinder didn't respond. I was under the impression that this was what Nano wanted, and I've always been on Nano's side about what she chose to work on. As far as I was aware, Bao didn't have any plans with Nano for a model again after that. I didn't know it was ever replanned or that Red brought Bao up to Nano in their exclusivity deal in January. I did not and do not agree with what he said about Bao to her then. Bao was recovering from surgery when she was told one of her closest friends betrayed her. I don't know what she was shown or told by Nano and Shaila Lee or our other friends involved when she made her decision to make everything public, but I believe she was misinformed. I wish she would have talked to me first, but I don't hold that against her. I never talked to her when I knew Red had a problem with her and I was neglecting her, so I didn't deserve that courtesy back. Bao was encouraged to reveal my relationship with Red in her document, but she didn't. And I appreciate her choosing not to say anything about it before I did. By the way, who ended up revealing her relationship? Was it that comment? I think it was a comment made under somebody's post. But was that then repeated by other Google Docs beside the guy that was like cheating with her? Bao was one of the first people who genuinely inspired me to become a VTuber in 2020. I was lucky enough to become her friend and get to know her. She works extremely hard on everything she does, especially her music. With how much bullshit she's been through, she's one of the strongest people I've ever met. Bao is the kind of person who will always have her friends back. I'm sorry that I didn't do the same for her and for never being the friend she deserved me to be. Yeah, it was that comment about her PL and then Rain came out. I see. Red, this is Red's comment. I'm sorry to Bao. I completely misjudged her character, jumped to conclusion, and made a mistake that not only hurt her with Nano, but continued to hurt her because of my influence on Cinder's actions toward her for months afterward. I'm ashamed of the way I felt about someone who's only been a supportive friend to us. I was too immature to look past my personal resentment toward her to talk to her about the things that made me feel that way in the first place. I went out of my way to get even with someone and take an opportunity away from them who had only hurt us in my own headcanon. I also want to apologize to Bao for reassuring Nano it was okay to cancel her model last August. I was only considering Nano's feelings and how it would affect us and not Bao. I'm sorry. Below we've laid out anything Ren and I have experienced with or related to Bao that are relevant to everything that's happened. This includes conversation for a mutual video editor, Red's conversation with Nano about Bao's model, our real-life experiences in the production of Bus Rush music video with Sacramore, leading up to what Red told Nano in her exclusivity deal. I don't know if it's a true apology, because shouldn't the page have ended there then? Like, we fucked up and then move on, but then there's 99 pages following this, so they're gonna excuse stuff, no? The first time Red asked our video editor about working with us exclusively was a couple weeks after we saw that they had worked with Bao. Initially, I took them working with Bao personally when I shouldn't have. I thought it must have been because my content wasn't good enough or as good as Bao's. In this case, I thought it could be that I wasn't paying them enough, so they were looking for other work. I was upset, but not at her. She was my friend. Red wanted them to have the time to do more for us in general, so he wanted to ask them about becoming exclusive for that reason. Red also asked how much they'd be looking to be paid for exclusively. They turned him down, and it wasn't a problem. We were both satisfied with the response and accepted their decision. I got over my insecurity and was happy they were supporting my friend with her content. It was only over our shared video editor that I ever saw Bao as any kind of competition, but it didn't affect how I treated her. I mean, it's already weird that you see her as a competition, not gonna lie. I've never, even with other people that do the same kind of content as me, and we've shared editors and stuff like that, I've never saw them as competition. That's such a crazy notion to me. And after reading, we're now on like what, the fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have such a bad opinion of Red at this point. Like, my opinion of Red is in the gutter right now. Rima, be careful. Red might see you as a competitor. Oh, I'm shaking my boots. I really need to buy some honey for my throat because I can feel it being a little sore today. In my apology, I said, yes, Red and I were initially upset when Bao hired my editor, and I took it personally when I shouldn't have. I felt as if maybe my content wasn't good enough or like I wasn't paying enough for his work, but I accepted it and was happy for him for getting that bag and supporting one of my friends at the time. Okay, real talk, Red says. How much work would we need to give you, or how much monthly income in order for you to make enough from us to be our exclusive editor? And is that even something you'd be interested in? We've been thinking about asking since we do want to take on some Tashi work and the possibility of making more Sinder content. He responds, sorry for taking so long to respond, I'm just thinking. He says, dude, I've seen you typing for like an hour now. I'm low-key having a panic attack, being like, well, this is where we part ways, rip. Red, this is stressful, I'm sorry, take your time, not think about me. He says, as much as I like editing for you guys, I don't think I would want to be entirely exclusive because I do like working with other people too. I already do prioritize you guys when it comes to accepting other comms since they're selective, so if you guys want me to take on more Tachi and Sinder work, you'll still be priority. Also, I want to ask was if I could charge the normal $20 for short now instead of the discounted $8 we did like October last year. Something that I've been thinking about for a bit is being paid for helpful manage the YouTube channel, since I've kind of just been charging for editing the videos and now the thumbnails, uploading, and community posts. Sorry for taking so long. Oh wow, he does community posts too, that's a lot. And thumbnails. Wait, he does all that for $8? Wow, okay. Finding out about Bao's model, Red asked Nano about her current projects like he often would. Hey Nano, do you have a lot of models lined up? Quite a few. Is it for the project? Also need feedback on the outfit change, so I might change the toggles too. No, not for the project. I was just wondering. I know you were working on Redacted, Name, and Silver, and one of our mythic contacts said you would be working with one of their clients soon. I'll go get the feedback now. She's showing them her work stuff. He says, oof. My oof reaction in the screenshot was due to the number of projects she had on her to-do list, not about who was on it. This was the first time I had seen Nano would be working with Bao on a model. He always makes her feel like she's taken on too much work. But this is pretty much one comm every month, which means I can always put Cinder stuff in between easy. He says, okay, do you know what kind of model Bao wanted from you yet? Like, is it a normal whale or is there a team? Why does he need to know that? And I thought you were talking to Redacted about a model. She wants a big mommy Bao, like Redacted. I was about to say, not the Bao berry, so like a lore outfit. This is a duplicate screenshot. Should I just not read the duplicates because we've already read them? I mean, maybe it's a good thing we ended up reaching out to another artist about a model of how many you'll be doing. Red says, I was asking questions about Bao's design here to find out if it would be compatible with Boss Rush team like a lore outfit. Boss Rush was only an idea between me and Sinder at the time, but he knew what the concept would eventually be, just not who would be included. Later in the conversation, Bao was mentioned again. With Hedgehog Spikes, they do this dancing session every day is so loud. But I mean, if you want to clear up your schedule for more work with us, I'm not going to stop you. You're not subtle. Yeah, thinking on cleaning the most later ones. Red says, I don't know for sure right now, but I think you maybe should keep Bao. Big maybe. And that's all I'll say. Oh yeah, I really want to work with Bao. Are you designing Baos? Not sure. We didn't get into specific yet since it's planned for June. After Nano said she was rethinking her wait list, I said I won't stop her if she wanted to make more time for us. She responded saying she was thinking about getting rid of the later ones. I thought Nano should keep Bao on her list because she was Cinder's friend, but I didn't want to take a solid stance on it if Nano was thinking about removing her herself. Nano said here she really wanted to work with Bao. Nano told me Bao's model was planned for June. Nano asked Red about Bao's model timeline. Do you think it would be best for us to have Bao's model done sooner or around June is okay? I don't really know at the moment. We're working on the winter model now and finishing the gamer sub art. Then the next thing might be the webcon thing if we get to the okay with it. Then we gotta talk to Gamer Sub about Cinder's next product launch, so there's no plan for that right now. Then Cinder did want to do a 2.0 pirate bikini model, and then 2.0 model updates, and then the game project, which is still in the idea phase, so I can't give you any work for that right now. And there's always just more artwork for streams, for posting spicy art, or maybe spicy comic. Maybe have it done sooner, so whatever happens later, I'll be open for it. Nano asked me when she should have Bao's model done. Nowhere do I say she should cancel it. Nano suggested she may get it done sooner than June. WeebCon 2024. At WeebCon is where Bao showed us her new model design Nano was working on for her. The She-Wolf cover song. Bao messaged Reg about doing a cover of She-Wolf with me for her Halloween cover album. This was the first and only time she went to Red in their DMs to plan something with me. She first told Red this song would be a duet. If I drink like maple syrup, is it gonna do the same thing as honey? Yeah. After I finished the 6-hour stream yesterday, I'm afraid I was so burnt out. My eyes were burning. And whenever I was looking at my phone, I was seeing double. And today I woke up and I was so tired, like so tired. Okay, so here's the start of Red's and Bao's DMs. Bao, I have a question. Is Cinder familiar with singing in Japanese? Red says no. Okay, noted. She could have definitely tried, but I mean, I wouldn't bank on it working out. Bao says, Niall, it's all good. For Halloween, I'm singing a cover album and was asking around to see who wanted to be a part of it. Would Cinder be down to sing a duet of She-Wolf with me? Red says she's streaming, but I'll ask her. She says by Shakira. Okay, word. I'll be super flexible. We could change the key. She doesn't have to sing any line she doesn't feel confident in, etc. She messaged Red again later, now telling him that Numi was involved. Red asked me, what did Elara use for text-to-speech? No originality. Oh, it's freed. Okay. Oh, fried. It's fried, sorry. She messaged Red again later, not telling him that Numi was involved. Red asked me about this, and he told Bao that I said I was down to do it. I also said she could have just messaged me about this, and I don't know why she didn't. Red asked her to clarify if it would be just the two of us, like she said, or three of us now, but Mao never responded. Actually, JK, the producer, said he can take my commission right now. Lamau, do you mind asking Sinder if she's down sometime soon? If not, let me know so I can let Numi know. It'll just be us two. I think she's down. She said you could have just messaged her. One, is the song just you and her, or is Numi doing it too, from what your last message said? Or is Numi doing a different song with you? I know it's super early, but do you have a release date in mind since it'll be for Halloween? Are we doing any kind of MV or promo art, or will it just be the song? And just curious, how many songs are you planning for this album? 3 days later, Bao messaged me to add me into her project server for the song. That was the first thing she said to me about it. Red never told me Bao said anything about Numi's inclusion in the 3 days since, and only told me it'd be a duet when talking to me about it. Numi being included wasn't a problem at all, and the three of us did the cover together. Oh, honey has special properties to help sore throat? Fuck. I could message Elara and ask her which text-to-speech she used. I don't know if she'll see it. Yeah, I could read the DMs and TTS reads everything else. Come in here. It's a server link. We plan She-Wolf in here. It's just you, me, and Numi. Wait, I thought it was just the two of us. Maybe Red didn't tell me everything. Bruh, it's you, me, and Numi. I told Red that if you didn't want to join, then it'll just be me and Numi instead. Oh, he told me you said it was a duet. I was just confused. I just thought it would be cute if the three of us did it, because Numi has her kitty form and I want my puppy form and you are a wolf. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is 17/19/2024. Bao's model cancellation is between 7/23/2024 to 8/6/2024. These are Rem's DM with Nano leading up to when she cancelled Bao's model. Red asked Nano if she knew when Bao's model was going to debut so we could plan our schedule around it like we've done in the past with other people she's worked with. It was the end of July and he thought her model was already finished. The last time Nano had mentioned it to him was in November, and she told him she planned to have it done in June. We saw the design at WeebCon in March when Bao showed us. Yeah, you guys should bring popcorn, snacks, everything. Drinks. At least you can just do a react when it comes to Aura, as Aura reads her own segment. Perfect. That's smart, actually. Just putting somebody else's stream and reacting to that. Oh, no, you didn't win the jackpot? God damn it. But thank you for the 100 bits anyway. Thank you, Nano. I'll let you know if she asks for anything else. Oh, I wanted to ask you if you knew around when Bao was planning to debut her model from you. She planned it from Valentine's. Thanks. Just want to check on your schedule for the Angel model. Do you have any ideas for the 3.0 release date? At the earliest, April next year, but probably May, June. Angel will be late November or December this year. Dates are good then. Do you know when you're starting the Angel art? Oh, art? Probably right after model is done. Oh no, I meant model, like the art for the model. Angel Cinder's book for start in October. Anything cool you working on lately? Barda name, flavor art model starting this week. You're doing a redacted model? No. So, Cinder's Angel model was booked for October. I was also excited for what I thought was a model she was making for someone else. I'm not sure what the point of this entire screenshot is, really. It's got nothing to do with Bao. It's them talking about the angel art for the fucking 100th time. I'm starting to lose my patience. Nano, could you give me an updated PNGs of these with all the fixes you've done? It's no rush. Okay. I'm gonna take any comments from that form. I feel like I want to be more into VTubing. No one cool applied. Oh, this is this conversation again. I think you should do this, especially in Brazil, where there's in a big market. And then she says she wants to move on with her own brand, but I'll work with Sinder until she dumps me. Nano told me she didn't want to take anyone from her public comms forum, so she can do more streaming herself, saying she wanted to move on with her own brand and work with Sinder until we chose not to anymore. I encouraged her and offered her my help. Again, this wasn't the word for word, this was in the Nano less document. Maybe not word for word, but he did like a very similar explanation. What is the point of putting this again? You have any tips on popping the bubble? We've read this. This was also in the last segment. Anyone you can... She's got a queue of... She says she's got a... He says, you didn't get any cool ones from the forum. She says, I got a few cool ones. He's asking if she can share. And then he says, oh, there don't seem like big names. Oh, nice. She's like, there's some cool people that applied. He's like, oh, can you share who the names are? And he's like, oh, I'm surprised there wasn't any bigger names that applied. What the fuck is this, like, passive aggressive jab? Like you mean what it takes for a small, this is another convo. He gives her some content creation tips. And then he adds, what I can say is that as long as you're still drawing for Sinder, I don't mind helping you with advice and plans and stuff. Mio messaged me asking for some guidance and said he wants to help you out more too if he can. So cute. But like I said, I still will work with Sinder until she dumps me. Until she dumps me, it will be working forever. I'm doomed. I love it. Honestly, I would cancel my next models if I didn't feel already so committed to them. How many models do you have in the works? I got 3. There are people I'm interested, so I don't want to cancel with them. I just gotta recover from the cold. Is one of those the angel model? No, but don't worry, it's all very well calculated. By the way, the angel model would be a skin on a 2.0. Red says, Naono brings up the idea of canceling models after expressing she wanted to do her own thing and that she honestly would if she didn't feel committed to them. Oh, there's like 4 models, I think. Redacted names is to debut around October. I have no idea for the other ones. Is that Bao too? Red asks. She says, I didn't start Bao yet. Oh no, this is this screenshot. Red says, so 4 models that haven't debuted, and 3 you still need to do, not included redacted name. Nano's like, yeah. He gives her some reaction emoji. I swear these are my last models for a while, crying emote. He says, okay, we'll find a new mama. She says, I'll kill myself in front of Sinder. Red says, I asked about Bao being one of the Finnish models that hadn't debuted yet because I wasn't under the impression Bao was already done. Nano told me her model wasn't even started. Me saying to her that we'll find a new mama for being busy was a joke, like earlier in the conversation when I joked about firing her. I think this is word for word. Like... I'm gonna fucking kill him! It is word... This is a conspiracy to kill me. I knew it. I knew it sounded so familiar. Bro, they half-assed this doc so hard. In Minecraft, yes. I think it would be soon. I don't have a model to work with quite often. Actually, I was thinking of doing a proper debut for the model. Just tell chat to pretend I never saw the model before. Okay, well, I'm gonna have the same conclusion as when I read this yesterday, so I'm just gonna say it now. It's so crazy that Redacted puts these screenshots here to try to defend himself and say that Nanoless came to the conclusion to cancel Bao's model on her own, when it's really right after she speaks to Red that suddenly she decides to cancel Bao's models. And then people will claim that it's got nothing to do. There's no like cause consequence. There's no, it's not related. It's all disjointed. Nano opens up her form. I'm gonna break down this section. Nano opens up her form. He asks her if anybody cool applied or anybody interesting. She says, yeah, there's some cool people. She gives him some names. He says, oh, I thought they would be bigger. Then he asks her about her workload. She says she's got 3 models to work on. Then he asks, is Bao's model included in this? How many models do you have in the work? I got 3. There are people I'm interested in, so I don't want to cancel with them. He asks if Sinder's model is counted in that list, the angel model. She says no, but don't worry, I'll make time for you. Now he asks, how many new models have you done that haven't debuted yet? She's like, oh, there's like 4 models. He's like, oh, is Bao's model included in those 4? She says, I didn't start Bao's yet. He's like, oh, so 4 models that haven't debuted and 3 you still need to do. Insinuating that's a lot of work. Nano says, yeah, she's starting to stress out. I swear these are my last models for a while. Like, she's feeling bad. He makes this quote-unquote joke. Okay, we'll find a new mama. And then he starts asking her, do you have a time frame for when you want to start doing your content creation? She says, I think it would be soon. I don't have model work, but it would take quite a time. Actually, I was thinking of doing proper debut for the model. And then Nano is like, do you think Bao would kill me if I cancel with her? Yeah, if you're going to be reading these duplicates, you are in for a rough time. And then he says, no, but she'll guilt trip you 100%. But if that's the best for you, then I think you should. She says, I'm very guiltable. Yes, you are, Nano. You are. You're being guilted right now, too. I mean, Nano is like... She's getting manipulated, sure. But she's also hurted other people because of it. And I mean, I blame Red to a certain extent, but also like, I mean, I hope that she apologized to Bao for this. Then he says, I'm not telling you to cancel her model, but it sounds like that'd be the best for what you want to do. I'm not telling you to cancel, but I think it's the best idea that you do cancel. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Is Bao the last of the 3 you still have? Yeah, I got Redacted Name 2, which I'm considering to cancel too. The other one I can't cancel because I set it to start right now. But I think I'll keep her. Out of nowhere, Nano asked me, do you think Bao would kill me if I cancel with her? Is this guy thinks we're not reading the conversation. And by the way, this is also copy-pasted from the last section. This guy really thinks we have no memory. It's insulting to our intelligence. It's insulting to everybody here. It's not out of nowhere. You just spent 3 pages making her feel like she had too much work on her plate. Like, it's not all unrelated. I told Nano I thought she would do what was best for her. That less model work meant she could do what she wanted to sooner. If this piece is in... Okay, this is literally copy-pasted. Alright. Fuck you, Red. Red asked Nano if she decided to cancel any model project like they had talked about before. He did not name anyone. Hey Nano, do you know if you're able to start the heavy hound outfit earlier or not? Also, just wondering if you decided to cancel any other model projects. Yeah, is he manipulating us? Yeah, checked with the other clients and can't delay them. Didn't cancel anything yet. Actually, give me another moment. Oh yes, this is when he asked her 3 times if she's canceled the other projects. Yeah, check with the other clients, can delay them, didn't cancel anything yet. Need some more things for the summer model. Okay. It's all, this entire segment is copy-pasted from his previous segment. There were unrelated messages about my own project that we're talking about in these. She says, give me a moment after he asked her, did you cancel yet? Didn't cancel anything, she says, give me another moment. And then later on, he presses her again. Did you cancel again? Did you check on this? But Red's defense here is that he didn't name any specific name. I bumped Nano again 6 hours later, and she said someone was replying to her now. And then he asked again, did you cancel the models? It's 3 times now. Another 20 minutes later, he says he's joking, of course. Nano arc delayed to 2026. That's a joke too, but not really. Then she says, I'm scared to cancel with Bao. Showing hesitancy. But he is quick to reassure her. He says, you shouldn't be scared to cancel with Bao. She has so many connections. She'll find someone super fast. Did you already design her outfit? I remember her showing it to us at WeebCon. Yeah, I can give her the design for free as an apology gift. And he's like, no, why would you do that? You should at least charge her half price. Yada, yada, yada. We've read that one 1,000,000 times. Okay, this is also a duplicate wall of text. Then he's like, you should close your form quietly. I mean, TBH, Red was probably right on this one. I don't know why she's opening her form if she's gonna complain about too much work. Okay, is this new or is this a duplicate too? No, it's a duplicate too. Okay. 45 minutes after, Nano said she was able to start on Sinder's model Angel right away, when earlier she said it wasn't able to and had planned to start in October. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's funny that Red's putting that in his comment and that's supposed to be his defense, but it's like, oh, suddenly, after he's pressed her 4 times, she conveniently bumped up Sinder's Angel model 2 months early. Okay, this is still all copy-paste from the last session. Later that night, Red told me Nano was going to cancel Bao's model because she wanted to stream more. He said he would help her out. Basically, Sinder says that she wasn't aware of what Red told Nano, really. He just told her that she was canceling because she wanted to work on her own content. This was also in yesterday's section. This is in yesterday's section, I remember. Let me double check for this part. We can save some voice. Yeah, this is duplicate, duplicate. Wait, sorry, I was looking at the wrong one, but yeah. Oh, okay. This one's new. Never mind, it's not new. Okay, it's the same. It's the same. Maybe this part will be new. Yeah, we haven't had original text since page 1. I am slouching, but the text is kind of small. The second time Red asked our video editor about becoming exclusive was after our other editor had stepped down from working with us on August 5th. Instead of finding a replacement, we wanted to see if they could have the time to fill the gap in content left behind, plus any extra video they'd be available to make for us. Red offered them a raise, but they turned him down and we moved on. This had nothing to do with Bao. Are there multiple duplicate parts in this document? I have no idea. I just found out that these pages were duplicates. But I have a pretty good memory with this stuff. Redacted says, okay, side thing, Sinder and I have been talking about you. Considering our predicament, we'd like to make you an offer. So we lost redacted name and now we need shorts, and even with redacted helping out, there's the problem of consistency. So anyway, we'd like to offer you bar.number a month to be our exclusive editor, pick up those extra shorts, maybe do more clips and the occasional midweek videos, which you've already been doing. And it's okay to decline, we won't be mad, and you can think about it for a while, no worries. There's no deadline. I was about to go back to sleep after you sent this so I can respond in the morning, but then I got anxious about not responding, so I'm at my PC now. Red says you can go to sleep. I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to decline on it. I def agree that we need more shorts for consistency, so while I'm looking for a short editor, I can do 2 shorts a week on top of the 3 that Redacted will be doing. I think the main issues is getting at least 5 clips that work for short format every week, so something I've been thinking about is 1, changing the post rule in the Sinder clip channel in the Discord to include what streams the clip is from and the context of the clip. 2, really push for Twitch clips to be named. There's so many people at Clip Sinder thanking them for their resub and it's not named. Last solo collab with Bao. This was the day after my last one-on-one collab with Bao. She had asked me to make clay animals together on 8/3/2024. That's actually a cute collab idea. And it took us 3 weeks to get materials delivered and finally schedule it. We ended up making VTuber mascots. I was happy Bao wanted to do something artsy together since I already did my own crafting streams and I wasn't able to do a handcam crafting collab with other VTubers very often. It's so bad that you don't read the DMs and only read their commentary and then you buy into their narrative. That's the hope anyway. This was my problem with all the ChatGPT summaries that were put out, and like I understand why people use them, but obviously the ChatGPT summaries where it only grabs the text, and the text is basically Red's defense, and it's heavily subjective. Like sometimes there's screenshots and then Red's text after, and it just makes no sense. Like I'm not even reading what he's saying. Like, not that I'm not reading what he's saying, but I'm not seeing what he's saying in the evidence that he's providing. Yeah, you do have to read between the lines there. There was a quote from the book I'm reading that I wanted to tell you guys at the beginning of the stream about the truth. It was a nice quote. Maybe I'll put it out later. Bao says, hello, can we do a handcam stream where we make clay animals together? She says, I'm so bad at sculpting them out, but that sounds like it could be fun. Bao releases her original song, Natural Disaster, featuring her other friend alongside her. Red says, this event is here because of what I watched Bao say on her stream, either on the day the song was released or something in a couple weeks before then. She was talking about how difficult, frustrating, and time-consuming it was to work with inexperienced singers on music project, and that she would rather work with V-singers from now on, who know what they're doing, can match her high skill level. These were her closest friends she was talking about. Live on stream, I couldn't find an archive of this stream anywhere to prove this happened either. What I remember is how it made me think Bao viewed her friends and how I felt about it. Why is this here? Nani desu ka? At the same time, and his source is Trust Me Bro, by the way. At the same time, Bao knew me and I were working on our She-Wolf cover. Red told me this and it made me anxious about the song, and I felt like I had a lot of pressure on me to do well. I barely had any singing experience and I wasn't anywhere near Bao's level, but she asked me to be a part of this and I wanted to do my best for her. And it's like really shitty that he put this in after he's like pretending to apologize at the beginning. This part could have made it without Red's commentary and just have Sinder say, Red said he spotted Bao mentioned this on one of her stream. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if this was if he misheard or anything. But I remember that this made me feel anxious and I wanted to do my best for her for the cover. That's it. TwitchCon 2024. There's 3 things that happened at TwitchCon last year that further formed the opinion I had of Bao. Okay, this is Red talking right now. 1. The first night there, Sinder, her friends, and I went out to dinner somewhere nice. Bao was supposed to be there with us, but never showed up. It was a fair chance the close friends had to see each other in months, in person and away from work, and she blew them off. Everyone present was talking about her not being there. One of our friends was telling us that they were working on a song with Bao, and Bao asked about them having a music video to go with it. The song this friend was making with Sinder at the time was planned to have a music video, but they weren't planning on having one for the song with Bao. They said that Bao got upset with them, guilt-tripping them over their decision about their own content. This reinforces what I had told Nano about Bao. The last night before everyone went home, the friends were planning to go to dinner. I ended up getting sick and stayed behind in the group chat while they were figuring out where to eat. Bao said that she wanted to go somewhere fancy and she wasn't going. This was the last night everyone was together, but there was still caveat. She had to just spend time with her friends. Neither Cinder or I have access to this group chat anymore. At a party at TwitchCon was where we met Sacramore, Bao's video editor. He came to me and said he'd love to work together and make a music video for me, which is why Red would ask him to make one for Boss Rush. Dude, this section is so fucking schizo. Like, Red is like... I don't know why Red is making the point that he had a bad opinion of Bao. Why does he gotta explain to us where it came from when it's no evidence, like oh, other people were shit-talking Bao and I believe them. That doesn't make you look good, first of all. Second of all, there's no evidence. And third of all, just say you had a bad opinion of Bao and you messed up. Like, now, it's like he's building up the point of she's not a good person. Which doesn't make his apology feel genuine. Or make me believe that he's changed. Or Not even that he's changed, that he's remorseful. This doesn't not sound like the kind of person Bao is. It doesn't. Since this is the first time Sacramore has been mentioned, here's his document for reference. Sacramore is one of the people that also put out a Google Doc to support Bao's. Red reaches out to Sec after TwitchCon about a music video project, which was the one for Boss Rush song. They discussed it over the next week, but Zach couldn't fit it in his schedule at the time. You wouldn't happen to be available for an MV in a week or two, would you? Oh, why aren't these highlighted in red? I thought this was in the original doc. I'm completely full every day this month. For earliest I can do is November 9th. Just check in, take ya. I'm 100% down for another date. Sorry to bother, but you all know the exact date, since I could try working something out to fit in it if y'all want by the 22nd-ish. Okay, it's alright if y'all know in 2-3 days. This month it's done me busy. We're trying to get Bao's album / original done. Sure. Thanks. Well, will you let you know ASAP / once I chat with Bobber? Hey Red, thanks for waiting. So I've been trying to figure out if there was any feasible way I could slide Sinder into my schedule this month, but between moving and my new apartment this week and the Halloween album, I think November 9th is the very earliest I could start. I'm very sorry, but if there's any project after this date, I'll lock you in. How long does it usually take for you to edit an MV? He says this one took 3 days. Okay, cool, just for a ref. But depends on complexity and length, and optimal will be a little over a week or two, I guess, for Rush. How would you feel about me giving you everything for the MV now, work on it in between your other projects, and have it to me by the end of October? Zach responds, I really would love to be able to squeeze in y'all, and absolutely would if I could, but I generally don't have any free days until November 9th in the earliest. This month and start of November is literally just an ass beating for my schedule. And he says, okay, thanks though, Zach, you're missing out on a good one. Let me drink some water. The worst thing is Sinder signed off on this because it was included in the doc. She's okay on all of this being in a doc. Oh my god, you're right, actually. I didn't even think of that. Rima, did you see Cinder's stream? Peaked at 13.8k viewers and Hype Train is level 37 right now. Yeah, I don't doubt that she's gonna do well. Like I said yesterday, this is very similar to the Admiral Baru and Bunny Ayu situation. It was the same kind of claims, and it was the same amount of Google Docs that came out on them, and it was also from their friends. And Bunny Ayu has more than 1 million subscribers now. And then Baru is one of the top live streamers. So cancellations don't really do anything anymore. No, they never did like an apology or anything. They just came back to streaming. No, they did an apology. Bunny Ayu did like 2 apologies, but they were both like 1 page or 2 page long. We have somewhat kept Ayu away from VTubing. True. The thing with Sinder is that her content heavily she heavily collabed, and I wonder if she's gonna be able to collab with large VTubers again, or if they will exclude her. But she could still collab with smaller VTubers and work her way back up. Red, there's 2 things that happened during our trip to Japan with our friend last year. Bao got mad at another one of our friends for something that happened at a restaurant with a rude owner. She got pissed and yelled at and belittled our friend when they did nothing wrong. They confided in Sinder and I afterwards and were very upset over it, but it was fine because they said that's just how Bao is. Everyone got together for what we called our Canadian Thanksgiving dinner. Hey, that's what I had on Monday! Sayu's found Sun just offered 20 subs to the community. Yo, Sayu found Sun. What the fuck? Damn, nice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. We have 20 page added to the counter. Let's go. Yeah, I think smaller creators will be down to collab with Sinder. I feel like if they didn't trash Bao in this document, there would have been a chance for reconciliation after time passed by. Between either Bao and Numi or maybe Vienna. Like the girls that don't feel like they like confrontation a lot, and that would feel more at peace knowing that they're not in conflict with somebody. But I think because of the Bao segment very much angling on portraying her as having a bad character, I think they just like destroy those chances. So anyway, they got together for what they called their Canadian Thanksgiving dinner. It was the last night. All of the friends would be together, just like TwitchCon, and again, Bao never showed up. She said she was on her way, and sometime later she said, never mind, she's not coming. We all were aware this was the last time we'd all see each other until 2025. Yeah, but why didn't she come? Is it because she decided to hang out with somebody else, or is it because she's not feeling well, and she's depressed and she wants to stay at home? Because if somebody's depressed, then I'll understand it more. But if it's like, because she doesn't think there's enough clout on the table and she'd rather go to a party, then obviously that's gonna change my opinion of this. Yeah, maybe she just didn't want to because she's in like a hermit. After TwitchCon in Japan, I was pretty convinced about how I thought Bao viewed and valued her friends outside of making content together. Bro, she flew to Numi's concert because you guys cancelled on her. Wasn't it like after a surgery or something? And it was like an express ticket too? I experienced these things in Japan and at TwitchCon too, and I was put off by them in a moment, but I didn't think about them beyond what they happened. This is Cinder's commentary. She also went to TCU that year, by the way, to hang out with her friends. Yeah, I think they should have done one paragraph apologizing to Bao and called it a day. I think it would have been better PR for them. After getting back from Japan, Red messaged Sak again about Buzz Rush music videos since the planned release date was pushed back again. These are all of their DMs over the course of the music video production. I don't know, Misha. I don't know. I think the point, we'll see. Maybe the point will be included in the conclusion. When was it you were free again? Things have been pushed back a lot. Sak says November 9th was the last MV for Bao until like the first week of December, I think, when Cinder's coming out now. He says when it's ready. Lamau, to BH, I'll prop start on it a day or two after I wrap up the Bao's MV in that case. This song has a lot of typography. Is that something you're good with? He says, can I hear it? So not worried, just so I can get an idea. Is it English or GP? English. Typography is one of my stronger points. I feel like I'm 100% comfortable with it. This was also a document that was in the original docs. Holy 9 minutes? He says, this isn't a song, just a reference. He says, oh. Lots of animated text with different fonts, but yeah, that's fine. It's just one still image she's using for artwork. He says, no, I can send you more details in a week or two. He says, that should be good. Just hit me up when you got more info, and I'm super down. Hey Red, Bao's song got pushed back, so I can start Cinder as soon as I get the assets and things if you're still down. He says, are you available? Sorry for getting back to you so late. Oh wow, okay, did it? This is late. This is 12 days after. All good, I'm still 100% down to do it. I would be able to start like first or second week of December or like mid-December release if that's okay. He says we were hoping end of November release, so the end of that month, but they're already the 12th, so they got like 2 weeks to make it happen and a couple change day. Zach says, oh yeah, that'd be impossible for me. Giga full at the moment for like 7 other vids this month. Like I said, I'm still super down to do it and really hope to be able to work with Sinder on the next video. But my schedule is always super packed, fully planned weeks and months ahead with not much wiggle room. So just let me know what y'all would like to do or feeling. He says, what if we pay you double? He says, can I hear the song or demo? He says, fine, I'll leak hers, but it's top secret. He says, I offered to pay double for Zach work because I knew it'd be a tight deadline. And I was desperate for this help. Zach was 1 or 2 music video editors we knew and the others wouldn't have been able to pull off this video in this time frame. Zach music video always come out great and this project needed to be the best it could. My lips are sealed. It's an original song. This is an earlier version of it with the placeholder vocals and a couple outdated lyrics. The final version is being worked on with the new vocals. I'll cook. Song's a banger. Sounds like blah blah is doing the audio. When can you have it to us by then? I can send all the assets my direction and the lyric changes tonight. I'll start on it on the 16th. 17 the latest. Don't know exact date when I'll be done since I'm gonna just have to giga grind on it. I'd say the absolute deadline is like the 27th after any edits changes Sinder may ask for. He says, oh yeah, I'll be done by then. He says maybe the 28th. I want to have it done at the 25th the latest. He says redact the name, can get it uploaded the night before, but 24th is my goal. 24, 25 would be perfect since I have Bao original song due on the 30th. I can send the invoice to redact the name whenever, we'll get paid ASAP. Alright, it's fine. If I do it after the video is done, help me stay motivated. Lol, sure, no problem. He messages him with the drive with the assets. All good. Can I get the credit list while I'm thinking about it? He says, in general, we wanted to do something similar to this league rap video with the lyrics on screen next to each of them during their parts and the reference stylized like the game franchise they're from. I'll send the lyrics, what reference is where, and more in depth of shot by shot we were thinking. Sounds like Asteroid Money doing the audio, right? Sinder, Tricky, Vienna vocals, and barred out names. Alright, sounds good. Hey Red, just checking it to see if I could get a draft mix of the song with Sinder, Tricky, and Vienna vocal as well as an updated lyric sheet so I can start working on it as soon as possible. Red says we'll get everything I have for you today. I only have a draft mix with Sinder and Tricky at the moment. Tricky's vocal may be changed. That works for now, as long as it's like the same realm of similarity to the final, since I will go ahead and start on Cinder's part. There's also a couple more animated variants I'm waiting on. No stress, appreciate it. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Here's the latest mix I have. And for this specifically, it's the group art background itself and the 3 girls separated from it. Here's the lyrics. So we want to start with the group shot of them panning up in silhouette with glowing eyes, which we'd like as a separate teaser video if possible. Then each of them will be solo during the respective verse on their own background. They also have multiple variants to change to halfway through their verses or something. Sinder has her standard pose, but also her hands with fireballs. The choruses would be the group art of all of them together. You can keep the camera close to their upper bodies, don't need to have the full art in frame, and you can have fun with the camera. We want to go heavy on the text editing like the League song ref I sent, where the video game reference of lyrics I have their font edited like the game logos, and beyond that, just fun edits on the text to make the lyrics interesting to watch. I don't know, these are our ideas, have fun with it. Also, the song's name is my name, and the group is Boss Rush. I'll get you that animated stuff as soon as I have it, and if there's anything else you need, let me know. Sounds good, Zach responds. I got some brainstorm ideas, and we'll hop on this early tomorrow and send y'all something in about a little over a week. hopefully, Lamau, since this one's is going to be really complex. Red messages him again to inform him that the group animation are updated in the drive folder. Zach says, sounds good. Finished most of the 3D modeling and MoGraph assets yesterday, this morning, and we'll be finishing up intro today, as well as hopefully making some good progress on the first verse. Thanks, Zach. Can you send a whip too to show Sinder? Waiting to see if there'll be any edits. He says, I have an idea, most of the rest of the edit and most of the assets made. Leaning into the video game team, my general plan is for each verse to be representative of a level. Sinder level 1, Hell, Tricky level 2, and Vienna level 3. Also ignore the audio slow thing, that's just AI running out of RAM while screen recording. Also, I displayed a half quality for performance with the full quality be 4K. Red asks if he needs a higher quality version of the logo. Can you keep the art unflipped? For instance, Cinder's design isn't symmetrical, so at the very end the flipped image looks wrong. Yeah, I'll unflip. He says, I don't really think the higher quality PNG will be noticeable. You know what Cinder says? I'm putting my bussy into this one. Cinder says, holy shit. I was gonna say, lol, this is gonna be so good. Show the girls, I'm gonna cry. He said, Red says, also I noticed you're keeping the shots of them literally up at their faces. You can pull the shots out a bit more and have the zoom be more varied throughout the song. There's a lot to each art piece to see. We trust the vision. Yeah, I'll be more varied pose and stuff when I have viewers make... I don't see the point of showcasing all the artistic back and forth here. I won't lie. And I don't think this will pay off neither. But we're reading through it just in case there is something in there. When I have viewers make eye contact with them like the girls are looking down on them as powerful mythical beasts, but I'll switch up to body shots as each of their verses progress. You have my word, I will not disappoint you. Got a lot more things to show for sure. Exactly, just didn't want you to feel limited to that, and that's what I said. Red said, just realized that the Google Doc is missing that Cinder line, despair and breakdown. It's a reference to Danganronpa. Also, the group files were updated to fix a small art error. Okie dokie, I'll make a note to change it out before I render it. Could you make the teaser video too, Zach? And one of the chorus to post with the release? Yeah, are y'all wanting to just use the intro for a teaser? And yeah, once I finish the video, I'll render out the chorus as a separate for post. Red says, I think that'd be okay. Maybe without the credit text, though. Zach says, like the song and group name? Right, the song and group name, and the Cinder, Tricky, Vienna, and yours, and redacted name credits. Just for the teaser. I'm gonna see about getting you into the music without the Cinder at the end so it can cut better into the teaser. Zach says, sounds good. Once I finish Cinder's verse and the chorus, a big chunk of the video is done, since Tricky's won't take much time from how I imagine it, and Vienna's will have a couple parts that will be time-consuming, but couple chill parts should have Cinder's finishing up in like 2 days, probably a day and a half though. Red responds, I'll have more music for you soon. He sends him 2 files. Zach says, when do you want the teaser, since I'll render them on a day before I go to bed? Red says, probably by the end of Sunday, Monday morning. Zach says, I shall be done. He says, thank you, buddy. I need some water. I like the comments in chat. Oh my god, who cares? It's funny because while I'm reading, I see in the corner of my eye, I can see chat moving. But I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been really able to read anything people have been saying for the past 3 streams because I gotta power through. Yeah, the 1000 page makes the reader angry on purpose. It's rage bait. I already finished an entire bottle of water and my tea. I don't know where's Bao in all of this, but I guess like Zach released his own Google Doc. In that Google Doc, I think he said like that, going from memory, that they had sent him the assets late, and they had asked for a teaser, even though that wasn't discussed preemptively. But he still managed to get everything done on time, even though they were short on time in the first place, and the teaser done. And yet, when Sinder went live, she kind of like threw him under the bus. So maybe this is a defense against that. Brett says, hey Zach, there's going to be a merch dropping with this. I want to ask if you could put a 10-second ad image at the end of the MV with the instrumental or something. Could have redacted name, re-enter the MV with the ad included too. Zach says, yeah, that's fine. I can do that. Sends the Google Drive link. Also, here's the intro render with different audio and credits overlay taking off for Twitter. Just a heads up though, I'm going to have a few delayed as there was a semi-unexpected family member passing 2 days ago, and I'm going to be going home for 2 days to be with family. I should still be able to have it to you all before the end of the month, but just wanted to let y'all know. If you all would like a bit of a discount for the delay though, let me know. At least he's offering a discount. Unlike Nanoless, who probably pieced out with the fucking rigging refund. That sad guy seems very professional. I can tell from the way he is expressing himself and the communications. Red says, oh damn, I'm sorry to hear that, Zach. I hope you're doing okay. Do you think by the end of the 28th is possible? Zach says, not sure, probably the 29th or super early the 30th. I'll make sure revisions are turned around a few hours after I get them so they'll be ready to post. Red says, we were planning for the 29th at 3 PM EST for it to go live because we have some merch launching with it at that time. Zach says, I'll try my best to make it happen. We appreciate it, thank you, Zach. No worries, brother. Can you send me the PNG files for the merch? Instrumental for the ending, still waiting on PNGs, and just an ad image. Also, we'll have the final mix soon. I think this is the final mix, waiting on the full consensus. Nope, thank you. Started Vienna's verse today, so we need to make the leak cinematic. Mograph for her and ending 3D section, and I'll be able to send it. Can confirm this is a final version, merch renders, and logo for the ending. So he sends him that on the 27th. The video is due on the 29th. Available until 12/12. Zach says thanks. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks you for the grinding. Happy Thanksgiving. No stress, man. Hope you'll like rendering Sinder's verse. This is just her verse. Is no longer rendered in the whole She-Wolf video. Oh wow, it's complex. Does that say 40 hours? Wait, is that true? Zach needs to upgrade his computer. Oh, I didn't know MVs were that PC heavy. I thought they'd be as heavy as a video edit, but I guess not. I'm learning something new. Oh, Nanoless refunded the ringing as a discount from a commission? Oh, did I miss that part for her potato? I didn't know. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. I mean, I am for sure missing some details on my first read. Yeah, MVs are very PC heavy. Low-key thinking I'm gonna get a new one though. That's probably a good idea, considering we might sign you up again. Or y'all hate it and y'all unfriend block me. We'll see what happens. They're exchanging some gifts. Reference for the merch part if you needed it. Thank you. I'll replace the background with the video super duper blurred and an audio and extend it to 10 seconds if that's fine. He says you have creative control. How's it coming, Zach? I'm almost afraid to ask. He says it'll be done on time. It's one day before. 11 AM tomorrow, Vienna's part only has 63 and half hours left. What does that mean? Zach says, not tricky, took literally an hour and Vienna will be less. What did you do to Cinder's part then? Jesus. It's something with my PC. Like, Sinder is the most complex by a lot, but no shot it takes that long. Red says, gotta fund that UPC. Zach says, I did cook the fuck out of Cinder's part though. These does look good. My PC can't handle my MVs after Bao music video album training arc. He sends him the final file at 10 a.m. on the 29th. The video is supposed to go live at 3 p.m. EST, according to Red. Red is like, you did nuts, everyone loves it. If there's any times to make any edits to it, then he gives him a bunch of edits to do. And also, do you have a trailer? Vienna just had the idea today of 3 small trailers of a small part of each of their verse 2. But if there's no time for that, it's okay. Red says it's okay if you fell asleep. We'll ball with what we got. Thank you. Sack responds, I can change a few things, prob. Are you sure? I'm so sorry for the VTuber project curse. Yeah, we still have 3 hours. Red says 2.5. Sack says, I probably can't change much on Vienna TBH, but I'll do what I can with all the notes. Red says the last 2 bullets are the most important one. The first 2 can be ignored for crunching. Sack says, I didn't want to say this to freak you out last night, but when I sent Cinder's rendered time of 40 hours, I still had to do Vienna's entire verse. He says, oh my god, I'm so sorry, the VTuber project cursed. Next one will be planned and scheduled way in advance. No worries, everyone's end up happy, it's all good. Let me know what you're able to do. I'll get a chorus black and white change. Tricky's eye color oopsie fix for sure. Sack reassures Red. He says it went pretty smooth, TBH, everything considered. Next time we're all together at a con, something you should ask Bao about. A bunch of redacted words. We were both redacted words. Oh, trust me, I've heard. Lamau. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. Sack sends the Google Drive. Chorus color change plus tricky eye fix. Chorus trailer for Twitter. Individual trailers also for Twitter. So he ended up making 3 individual trailers on top of another trailer. He ended up adding the merch too. And doing the last minute edits. Thank you, Sack. Crunch time is real. He's sending this at 1:58 p.m. So 1 hour before the video is supposed to go live. You can send invoice together, okie dokie. Hope that everyone loves it and goes to the moon with views. Tell all the girls I'm really honored to have gotten to work on a project and they did an amazing job. Sack, can you edit the invoice to not require an address? Oh yeah, sorry about that. Let me know if that's fixed. All paid. Y'all the best. Redacted will have another project for you soonish. Okay, not that soon, but still. Thank you again for your work on this one. Remember, Sack skipped Thanksgiving with his family for this. Wow. I think that might have been something. What do you think about Pride? For earlier, Sinder is both attractive IRL and with her VTuber, so her being like Bunny Ayu isn't a stretch. However, what she said about Charlie and Silver is going to be different to see later. Oh. So this isn't your first read, I gather. Thank you, Jacob Foxfire of the 1964 Street. Thank you for the $10. Yeah, I think what it sounds like when he says you should ask Bao about, because he's laughing at the end, it seems like he's like, you should ask Bao about that one cursed project they did, like a project that probably that was chaotic, because they're talking about the VTuber project curse. I think they just censored it as to not reveal more information. Hi, Cass. Bao's comments on Bus Rush song. My new music group Bus Rush premiered our first song at the end of November. Red and I were going through the comments and we both saw Bao's. He didn't want me to like hers, so I gave in just to satisfy him. At the end of the day, it was just a comment. Goddamn, they ate. Those are my girls. Holy. Wait, he didn't want Sinder to like the comment? He is so controlling. Red adds here, after the past few months, I had a pretty solid opinion of how I thought Bao viewed her friend, so I told Sinder she shouldn't like it. I was persistent about it, so she listened to me. It was very petty of me towards a friend showing support. Okay, I really don't like Red. And, if he's that persistent with his partner, like, that gives me the eeks, man. Group chat with Bao. Sometimes in between these dates, Bao started a group chat with both Fred and I. We were both removed from this group, so we don't have access to what was said. As far as we remember, we wanted to do something together. Red was adamant to me about not wanting to plan anything with her at that time, so we didn't. Bao's never messaged us like this before, and this was right after Boss Rush popped off with another 2 friends involved. I wasn't opposed of doing things with her completely, but the timing was suspicious to me after the past few experiences with her, and I saw this as her trying to gain something from us, so I brushed her off. But you would gain something from it too. Dude, he is so fucking schizo. He thinks everything is suspicious. Shy Lily getting a model from Nano. That's suspicious. She's trying to get back to at Sinder. And then this with Bao asking her about the... They just did a project together that worked super well. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't with her. It was with Tricky and Vienna? And another girl. So disregard that, but... What stood out to me is that she addressed Sinder specifically as the lead singer of Boss Rush. Thieves think everyone steals. It reminds me, it's like those people that cheat in a relationship but that are always like jealous of their spouse because they think they're cheating. This is why I don't get how they're still together, TBH. Me neither. I mean, I'm just wondering, like, if I found out that somebody had lied so hard about me, to me, and because of that, everything I had built and my entire career was destroyed. I don't know if I would take them back. But, I mean, everybody's got different thresholds. So... it is what it is. "11 days after the music video was finished and released, Red messaged Zack about another project in February. He said he was working exclusively with Bao going forward. In my apology, I said, and yes, I was also upset with when Zack, the Boss Rush MV editor, had told us that he won't be able to work on any future project with us and would instead be working exclusively for Bao. But Red got it in his head that it was Bao's fault that it happened, seemingly held a grudge against her for it. He was very passionate about Boss Rush and the potential future projects around it. But he told me without an MV editor as talented as Zack, the future projects wouldn't reach the same height, so he created this headcanon that's laid out in those DMs. Yeah, I wouldn't blame Bao if she wants nothing to do with Sinder after that, especially when she's back with Fred. Granted, it's her life, but still. True. And also, this is only the DMs they got caught talking shit Bao in. You don't know who else Red told these narratives about Bao to. And judging from how much he's yapping, I am confident that he spread rumors to other people. Remember, she started the Red section with this: "I'm choosing to have Red continue working with me. He will be doing most of what he did for me before." So that says a lot. Yeah. But now she's not. She's downgraded him to a mod and not a manager. Obviously, he's still her partner. And he's part of so much creatively, project-wise, that I am sure he's still going to do, like, you know, a lot. Exactly. Imagine all the discussions that didn't leak, or things said on calls or face to face. Oh my, Taro. No, they're not separated, Misha, but in her announcement, Sinder said that she got a new management team, and it won't be him handling this anymore. He's just going to be a moderator. But they're still together. Shouldn't even be her mod, just be her pet. Yeah, he's not publicly her manager. She downgraded him probably because she saw the backlash, but is he really downgraded? I mean, he's probably still gonna be, you know, influencing her behind the scenes. He seems very persistent. Red says, do you want to do an MV for February? Sack says, hey brother, I'm sorry, but after January 2nd, I'm closing down all my comms indefinitely and wanting going completely in-house for Bao. He says, I thought you were down to do more. TBH, I really wanted to, and it's generally very hard for me to say no. I also feel awful about saying no, but I also do have other things in life I need to prioritize since the path I'm currently on does not get me to the goals I actually want to achieve as a content creator. It's more just personal things and my own goals I need to prioritize. Red says, the last time I spoke to Sack, he said he was honored to be part of Bus Rush project and was looking forward to the next music video together. Everyone loved the video he made and it was already nearing 500,000 views. I didn't know Sack well, so I had no real basis to know how he actually felt, but I just couldn't understand his decision coming out of nowhere. Who the fuck does that though? Who the fuck acts upon speculations and headcanon? Actually, I know a few people that do that. But they are lolcows. Or schizos. And I guess Red falls into that category too. I thought you were, like, I wouldn't act on something unless I had, like, definitive proof. I thought you were down to do more. Oh wait, we already read that part. Alright, well let Sinder know. She's pretty upset and disappointed, but it is what it is, I guess. Okay, Mr. Guilt Trip. Understandable, and I'm very sorry to be the one to cause those feelings. But I also need to do what's best for me this year, and I definitely wish you all the best in the future, and we'll be cheering you all from the sideline for sure. Thanks, Ed. Godspeed. Cinder wanted me to ask, is there any goals our project can help you with? She's just confused about why it's so hard for you to turn down more projects when you enjoyed the last one and it did so well. Dude, I bet Redacted told Cinder, yo, Bao stole that guy from us, and that's why she's upset and disappointed. Like, I don't believe that Red told her, like, the real story. Yeah, I thought he wanted to do more. Yeah, fuck that. Do you think Red and Cinder take everyone's word at face value on not think that people are just saying things to be polite or save face? I don't know if they do that behind the scenes, but in the document, they are taking everyone's word at face value and using this as, look, they told me this, so they must be lying. They accused us of lying, but they're liars too. I need to plug my face tracking device. So Zach responds, I appreciate you asking, but not really. There's not really a point in me just doing freelance anymore, since the only growth on it now is just scaling my prices to stupidly high rates, but I don't care about money that much. I need to focus on building my own platform / community. I want to see the next stages of growth for myself. I'm going in-house with Bao because she has been my day one and supported / took a chance on me when I was a literal nobody, living in basically poverty, and I want to do whatever I can do to repay her kindness and how much she's done for me. So I'd like to focus on her success as my client / friend. And I'm also doing it because I want to take the option away from me of working with other people, so I actually have to be serious about reaching my own personal goals with my content. I'm sure what you meant by your personal content if you're just working with Bao. Oh, he says, I'm not sure what you mean by your personal content if you're just working with Bao. I mean, this kind of came out of nowhere, since you seem pretty eager to work with Sinder at TwitchCon. And even after the last project, especially since it did numbers. But if that's how you feel, then we won't try to change your mind and respect your decision. Dude, the way Red talks, there is such a pattern between how he talks to Nano and how he's speaking to Zach here. This is not just a one-time occurrence. This is constant. This is his MO. Sayus found Sun! Thank you so much for the Twitch resub! Thank you. And on top of the 20 gifted, sheesh. Thank you so much. Red, as we were messaging, I was going back and forth talking to Sinder about this, which is why there's gaps in time in my response to Sag. By the end of our conversation, I was suspicious of his reasoning. This guy stinks. Right after this, Red messaged our video editor about music video editors and what happened with Sak. They're close with and works with Bao and her other editor, including Sak. Red says, do you know any MV editors besides Sak? I don't know any others personally. Cinder's like, sad emoji. Okay, was GW. What happened to... redacted name. Nothing, we can still contact him. Redacted words. I guess Sak is only working with Bao going forward, even though he was excited to do more after this last MV. And now we gotta find someone new. Why did he have to add that detail in, even though he was excited? Sinder adds, Boss Rush did crazy numbers and we want to keep up the high expectations for the next one. Not saying you need to go look for some editor, I was just asking if you knew off the top of your head. This other person responds, I know he's been wanting to make his own videos for the past years, but got caught up with doing lots of editing work, so I guess he's really waiting to focus on it moving forward. So he's just confirming, this person's confirming what Zach said. He says, I guess so. Our video editor gave me the same reasoning, Zach's decision, as he did, and I should have taken it as a fact by then, but I didn't, and still thought something else must have happened. Zach told me he was going exclusive with Bao because of his own content and goals, and he wanted to prioritize in his position as a VTuber video editor for a significant amount of time. I just didn't understand his vague reasoning or what content and community he was talking about. This was just 11 days after Bus Rush premiered. But isn't it the same reasoning that he was pushing onto Nano to start her new content? It was this message from Zach that made me suspicious of what his actual reason was for going exclusive with Bao. He only said all of this after he was pushed about his decision, and this was only days after Sinder and I turned down Bao in that group chat where she called Sinder the lead singer of Boss Rush. He is so paranoid. Because of my experience with Bao over the past few months, I had a confirmation bias. I convinced myself Zach was doing this because Bao must have guilt-tripped and convinced him not to work with anyone other than her, including Boss Rush. Yes, because you would do that. And I was mad that this wasn't even just against Sinder and I, but Tricky and Vienna too, who I cared about as much as Sinder did. Oh, boo fucking who. I'm sure you do. I'm sorry, I really don't like that guy. He gives me all kind of like creep vibes. Another thing that hasn't been mentioned up to this point is what Bao thought of her own music throughout last year. She would talk publicly in her Discord server about how depressed she was about her own songs and how nothing she did was performing well, and guilt-tripping her fans about not liking them. Oh my god, is this just like an entire paragraph of shit-talking Bao? Not liking them or listening to them due to the low view counts, ignoring their supportive messages like it meant nothing to her because the numbers didn't reflect them. She wanted to quit making music entirely because she thought her songs performed so poorly. The only songs of her from last year that I could imagine she considered successful were Miss RGB, Natural Disaster, and the She-Wolf cover, all of which included her friends. When I told Nano that Bao's songs flopped, I was referring to how Bao thought of them, implying that I thought it was motivation for her to do what I was telling Nano. Oh, well, excuse me. I didn't read that meaning through your text. When you said about the MV thing, Bao had original songs last year that had MVs by her editor, and the songs flopped. Music that had dozens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views wasn't good enough for Bao. Although I didn't elaborate on any of that to Nano, in my own opinion, all of her songs performed fine, if not great. I don't know why she needed views to validate music she made if it was something she enjoyed doing in the first place. I know how this reasoning sounds when you just look at what my messages to Nano said and it doesn't look good on me. Yeah, you're right, it doesn't look good. I feel like he doesn't even believe his own advice because they're the kind of people that always want more and more and more. We were banned from Bao's Discord server, so I don't have any evidence to show this happening. I don't know if Bao's message about this still exists, but I know there's plenty of Bao bubble buddies out there who will remember this. Bao's TMJ she talked about in her document had nothing to do with anything I said to Nano and wasn't something I even considered. Another similar instance I remember happening in Bao's server. What is a TMJ again? Yeah, what? True! Why do they need SAC if they don't care about views? Another similar instance I remember happening in Bao's server was on Sinder's birthday last year when her, Bao, and their friends were playing Jackbox game together. Oh, her jaw illness, okay. Sinder was streaming and invited them all to play, and Bao was streaming her at first, but abruptly ended it not long after starting. I checked her Discord server to see if anyone knew what happened. Bao was chatting in a public channel saying her CCV was too low to keep streaming and no one cared about watching her. Her community was trying to encourage and support her, but I remember she replied to a fan saying something like, "Stop fucking talking," and telling them all that nothing she did mattered. This is how she was talking directly to her fans supporting her, and while in a collab on her friend's birthday, of all days. More concerned about her numbers rather than having a good time together. I don't know if these images still exist either, but about her music wasn't the only time that she'd berate herself in her server and guilt trip her fans about it. It's a toxic trait against her, against herself, but I don't see how that is relevant in your defense, Red. And it actually looks even worse that he's bringing up all of this stuff and unearthing all this stuff on Bao that has nothing to do with him, and there is zero proof. There is zero proof. One thing I found while putting this document together was this tweet from Bao earlier this year on that indirectly supports the above. Bao said she was struggling with an unhealthy work-life balance like us. She wasn't enjoying content creation, implying she was too focused on the numbers, and what she did was never enough for her. All of this doc is just Red went from just business to just a joke to having his delusional just beef with Bao for no goddamn reason. Actually true, beer bottles. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Bao isn't even shy about dealing with mental illness. She literally just had a stream where she talked about mental health head on. Oh, thank you for this info, Will. Like, I know she's really been struggling lately. So in this post, Bao is talking about how she had to learn a hard lesson about work-life balance because last year when she sang, she talked until her jaw fell off and had to start physical therapy and get bi-monthly trigger point injection just to be able to chew food properly. Chronic pain, constant migraines, life hit me fast. At some point, the fear of falling behind and being forgotten outweighed all of the joy and fulfillment I was supposed to feel as a content creator. It was a really bad cycle of going way too hard, having to take a break, rinse and repeat, and never really feeling like I was getting anywhere, and if I did, it wasn't enough. I saw my family a grand total of 2 times last year and barely called home. Kept telling myself I'd call back, but I had more missed calls from my parents than callbacks. It's really scary coming home and seeing my parents get visibly older. I felt like I was constantly running out of time with every aspect of my life, when in reality, I just had to reevaluate how to be an actual human being again instead of a machine. I don't know why I almost started crying here. But good news, I'm a gym girly now, and I try to phone home twice a week, and I think creatine is slept on for girls. Anyway, thanks for reading. The irony of this is how Sinder and Red are trying to be slimy and equate themselves to Bao, but Bao sounds more depressed here, not what they've done. Yes, I mean, how can you read this and not just feel sympathy? Like, what kind of person are you? What kind of heart do you have? Like, you just have a black heart. This is evidence he's listing against Bao? She also spoke about her jaw pain in his tweet that she mentioned in her document. This was not something I had ever considered and had nothing to do with my opinion or actions towards her. In late 2024, I was dealing with debilitating TMG pain that resulted in me having to drain fluid from my jaw joints to open my mouth properly. They both knew this, and I have always wanted my friends. With everything I had seen, heard, and experienced with and around Bao over the past... Dude! Can we put this in a TTS? It's all Discord bots. A TTS website. Eh? I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know how to use Dish. Oh, it's from VTS Pog? Oh, we could have Juan read them. Hold up. Oh god, he's... Or spit. Alright, Juan is out. Okay, Juan will read the doc. That's so funny, actually. I love this idea. Okay, copy. And he's also gonna read the donos. Wait. Oh, wait.
Who really cared about numbers, saw how well the younger musically inexperienced friend mate was doing. She also found out her video editor had made the music video for it. This made her upset. She messaged Sinder and I about doing something together in the week that followed, calling Sinder the lead singer of Boss Rush, but we turned her down. She was also turned down about doing a music video with another friend recently, who was guilt-tripped about it, and now refusing to make content with her made things worse. She must have spoken to Zack sometime after about how depressed she was over all of this, guilt-tripping him about everything she's done for him into not working with anyone else going forward. When Zack told me we made this decision to go exclusive, he emphasized how indebted to Bao he was, which would make sense if he was guilty. Sinder is innocent. Juan, say so.
I don't understand what the fuck he's saying. Okay, we need another voice. We cannot have Spanish Juan. Perfection.
Perfection.
Should we use the Zentria voice? Let's try Jasmine. No, Juan is getting fired. No, he's not getting fired. We are gonna change his voice though. Dude, the way he pronounced Boss Rush was so funny. Boss Rush.
Sure, there were times before this I thought Bao could be whiny or pushy, but I never held anything against her before. Now I was convinced she was selfish, only cared about her friends when clout was involved, and had intentionally screwed us over out of jealousy of her friend's success. Things that were never a problem to me, like her working with our same video editor for the past year and a half, suddenly became an issue. Everything I saw over these few months showed a pattern of behavior that led to this happening. I thought I was crazy for being the only one to see it, with all her friends always giving her behavior a pass because that's just how Bao is. I couldn't possibly think her editor just decided to go exclusive with Bao right after Boss Rush just because he wanted to, and Bao had no involvement in his choice. It was completely unbelievable to me that someone would just do that themselves with the way this perfect storm of events lined up. If there was a greater explanation or reasoning behind these events...
Nah. Wait, why did you stop? Dude, he did the sentence! The schizo sentence from the meme. This hints at a bigger pattern of behavior. There must be a greater explanation or reasoning behind these events, Tinfoil Hat. Why did he stop? Maybe it was too big. I need to break it down. Go on. Yeah.
If there was a greater explanation or reasoning behind these events and Bao's actions, I never knew about them. I formed my opinion on what I did know and experience, like anyone else would. It wasn't founded on jealousy of Bao, and I wasn't just making things up to lie to Nano about her for no reason. But at the same time, I never sought out the truth and never talked to Bao about it. I was mad at her and already decided what she did. I thought that if I did bring it up she'd just lie about it and it wouldn't matter. 07 Wands balls.
Thanks, Jason. Dude, he sounds so schizo when he says that I formed my opinion on what I did know and experience. You didn't experience anything with her. This is form your opinion on your own headcanon. It wasn't founded on jealousy. Be so fucking real right now. I want to try another voice, see which one's the best. What is the Kimberly voice?
I had thoroughly brainwashed myself into thinking there was no way this wasn't the case, but as I now know, I was wrong. I misinterpreted the situation and misjudged Bao's intentions due to my confirmation bias, going as far as to disregard every positive interaction I had with Bao, or any of the good things I've seen her do, just to fit this narrative.
Grandma voice?
I jumped to conclusions, and doubled down without ever trying to find out if this was really true or not. But with every little thing that happened, I was so sure that this must have been the case and I held it against Bao. It was stupid and immature of me, and Bao didn't deserve the way I thought about her. or my actions that followed.
Yes. Okay, we're trying. I hate this voice. We are not using that voice. Sally. Let's try Sally.
And Bao did know about the music video Sak was working on for us. I was wrong. While going through my messages for this document, he said as much to me when I first asked him about doing the music video. From the time he said that and then became exclusive, it had been over 2 months. We'd gone to Japan, and I handled conversations with lots of other people every day. I forgot about it and thought Bao was unaware of him working with us. There was no conversation at the TwitchCon party we were at that I can remember Bao being a part of while talking to Sak specifically about working together. She was there talking to us at different points, but not at the same time as that. Voice 3 is 50 Shades of Bao lol.
And Bao did know about the music video Sak was working on for us. I was wrong. While going through my messages from the doc, he said as much to me when I first asked him about doing the music video. From the time he said that and then became exclusive, I've been over 2 months. Thanks, will let you know ASAP if I once chat with Bobber. Also, I'm not sure what they're on about with Bao not knowing about me working with them, since I asked Bao with Sinder and Red standing right next to me at TwitchCon if it was fine, since I had agreed to do all the Halloween album but would probably miss one of the songs, and she had no problem with it at all. So we have to, it's like Sak's word against this, and Sak, thanks, we'll let you know ASAP if I once chat with Bobber. Is Bobber Bao? So he's, I don't understand. What's this screenshot supposed to showcase? Isn't this showcasing that Sak spoke to Bao about this? I feel like the voices that I've been trying to use are getting worse and worse. Alright, let's do Red's apology with the Aditi voice.
I want to say I'm sorry to Sak for the pressure I put him under while working on our music video, and overworking him during the holidays with what he was experiencing at the time. If I had things better planned and finished sooner, there wouldn't have been such a time crunch. I also want to apologize for the hostility in my messages to him when he told me he was closing his commissions. It was his choice to do so, and I shouldn't have distrusted him.
I'm crying. I did not expect it. I can't breathe. I did not expect that. They're getting less clear and clear, dude. I really need to go to the bathroom, actually. Can I just go to the bathroom real quick? Okay. What is the voice that Parrot uses for his TTS? Because it sounds good, and I'm trying to find it, but Maybe I'll just break it down in two.
Red came up with his theory about Bao and brought it to me. This was a verbal conversation, so I have no evidence of it, only of the events around it. I didn't believe Bao would pressure her editor just to hurt us. I was upset about not being able to work with Sak again too, but I told him we'd just have to find a new editor. When confronted with her actions over the past few times we saw her, I said they weren't a big deal. Red was persistent and went through his evidence over and over, until I got mad too. I caved on the YouTube comment, and I understood what he was saying to me, but I didn't agree with his conclusion.
Yeah, Red sources, it came to me in a delusion. This voice is not bad. Because I'm running out of voice, that's why. And I'll read the screenshots anyway.
I was already stressed out because of my new model debut in 3 days, and I was hosting the VTuber Awards pre-show the day before that. That's where my Fansly announcement would also be, and another thing I was nervous about doing at all. Now Red was telling me he knew one of my friends had purposely done this to me. I defiantly told him it wasn't true and to get over it. Red told me to ask Bao about it, but I told him to since he was the one with the problem. I had a collab on another friend's channel the next day that included Bao. Red wanted me to cancel it last minute because she was involved, after I had already made an announcement about it in my Discord server earlier.
This is her Discord server message. I'm doing Christmas Confession collab on Censored Name channel tomorrow with Censored Name and Bao. I don't like this voice. It's too nasally. So, Joanna, you're fired.
I didn't want to hear it, got upset, and just went to bed from the stress of everything. Because of our fight, I was asleep and missed the Okami sequel announcement. I tweeted about it when I woke up.
Okay. It's the ooh voice. It does fit Red so well. This is the one? Alright.
Neither of us ever talked to Bao about any of this, even after just days earlier she had started a group chat with us both. It's my fault for never trying to clear things up when I had the chance.
Oh, it is
I just wanted this to go away and keep the peace between me and my friends. In my apology I said, I wasn't convinced this was the case, but it's my fault for never speaking with Bao about these things directly to clear things up, and letting it spiral to the point it got to. I'm sorry for not reaching out sooner about these ideas that were put into my head. I wish we would have been able to talk about this, too.
Two. And this is Red.
Red, regardless of how I personally felt about Bao now, I was still friendly with her the couple times I talked to her afterwards. She was still Cinder's friend. I asked Bao for advice about something work-related in December, and the last time I spoke to her was at the end of the year when her, Sinder, and their friends were dealing with something else going on. Getting even with Bao wasn't something I ever thought about doing until the opportunity came up when going to Nano about exclusivity.
Wasn't that literally what I was saying yesterday? Wait, wasn't that literally what I said yesterday? Dude, he just admitted to it. Wait. And somebody in chat said this was a bad faith interpretation. He just admitted to it. He never thought about it until the opportunity came up when going to Nano about exclusivity. And she offered to cancel the Bao model. Yeah, Your Honor, I didn't think about it to...
Honoro can read this into the 1000th page.
Yeah. Your Honor, I didn't think about it until I did it. That's going to be a killer defense when you murder somebody.
I was at my friend's collab the next day with Bao. Bao messaged me afterwards apologizing for something that happened on stream. I didn't see her message right away because of everything I had going on that weekend. I replied after the VTA pre-show was over. I thought about saying something to Bao about what Red told me, but I didn't. I didn't want to start anything over what I believed to be nothing in the first place, and I had a hard time talking about things in general. I trusted Bao. I was still mad at Red, and my new debut was the next day.
So here it's a DM conversation between Bao and Sinder. Bao says, I'm really sorry I spaced out at the end. I was like, the lights were on and no one was home. I promise I would never ever forget you or your music. I was running purely on fumes for the duration of the stream today. I also hope I didn't talk over you too much. I know Redacted name yelled at me for it, so I started being more aware of it. So I'm sorry, please forgive me. Sinder responds a day later. Sorry, been so busy with awards and debut, but don't worry, oh my god, collabs can be really socially draining for me, so I zone out sometimes too. No, you're totally fine. Okay, thank god. I'm watching right now. I voted for you in every category. Also, Fansly Sweep. Wait, let me send you something useful. I got recommended this
Red
website.
Don't THNK about it equals he naturally does it.
Yeah, pretty much, Shimazu. I got recommended this website that, you know, censored name, and they've been so crazy fast about doing it. I'm just gonna slide you my referral link, but generally really do recommend this if it gets too out of hand like me. I appreciate it. I wonder if it's about, you know, Fansly images being leaked and stuff. As they say, they've been so crazy fast about it. I don't know if it's about DMCAing or what. Next set of DMs between artist number 1 and Bao. Artist number 1 told Red that they're working with Bao now. Artist number 1, since you got the Fansly out now, I'll try to finish the bikini after my Bao project and before redacted name. Redacted, you have Bao project now. Artist number 1, mayhaps, paywall stuff though. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere if that's a concern. No, it's not that, it's just not the first time Bao's picked up one of our regular people we work with. I'm glad you're getting that bag. Artist number 1 says it was actually censored name that referred me. She had no idea who I was before, I think. Artist number 1 says talking about your editor, lol. Red says our editor is one, but not the only one. It's NBD. Okay. Oh wait, we're nice. More Juan text. I love it. I love this voice. It's so good. This is the voice. Hey, Riff Runner. He's also wavering between I didn't push her to cancel Bao and I totally wanted to cancel Bao. True. By the way, when is my set coming out for the card? I'm so excited for it. Oh my god, you guys did such a good job. Within the next 2 months? Okay, nice. Just let me know when it does come out so I can promote it. Insane.
Artist number 1 told me they were working with Bao now. This was only a few days after I spoke to Sak, and Sinder and I had an argument over my theory about Bao. The other regular people we work with I was talking about here was Nano, from when she was working with Bao earlier in the year. I told artist number 1 that it wasn't a big deal they were working with her. Artist number 1 never knew my thoughts on Bao that were told to Nano in January. I was mad at Bao, but I wasn't planning to do anything about it. It was only when I went to ask Nano about exclusivity did I have the idea to include Bao's name as a way to get even with her.
Dude!
By now, you've generated more hours of content on this than the first season of Game of Thrones.
Stop! This is depressing! Oh man. The full-on confession here, but he had this idea to, I mean, they basically admit to the blacklist. He had the idea to include Bao's name as a way to get even with it. There we go. It's right there in black and white. connection. Confession. Hey! Sacramore statement. Sacramore made this announcement about working exclusively with Bao. This was the same day as my Heaven Hound model debut. After I finished up 2 more comps for Peeps, I'll be shutting down my comps forever and editing anonymously in-house for Bao VTuber. Freelance has been fun and got to work with lots of really cool people. But I'm putting myself in Bao content
Red
as
is the master of self-destruct, a Voltorb.
Yes, yes, a Voltorb. They had everything. They really had everything. They had a cool group of friends that loved each other. And I think they loved them too, but they let the brainworms eat away at everything. They had money, they had success, they had fame, they had a talented group of artists around them. And they fumbled. They fumbled really hard. Thank you for the 100 bits! Tax for Fox, extra mad, don't remind me about taxes. My accountant messaged me about them. She wants me to do them. Freelance has been fun, got to work with lots of really cool people, but I'm putting myself in Bao content as my only priorities for the future. I asked to be anonymous since I'd like to separate from being known as a freelancer.
As far as I was aware, SAC was already basically exclusive to Bao to the same degree our video editor was to us, if not more so. For him to do a complete 180 in under 2 weeks from Boss Rush's release was unbelievable to me.
Bro.
He put his exclusivity with Bao in writing, publicly, and asked to be completely anonymous without being credited going forward with no reason other than he wanted to. I just couldn't believe there wasn't more to it.
There is a reason.
I don't know if SAC ended up making any of his own content like he told me since this happened. Recently, SAC opened his commissions again and is apparently not working with Bao anymore. The very thing that sent me over the edge about Bao last December didn't seem to last. As far as I was aware, SAC was already basically exclusive to Bao to the same degree our video editor was to us, if not more so. For him to do a complete 180 in under 2 weeks.
I pasted it twice. But there is a reason though. The reason is that he wanted to be anonymous, so he wanted to separate himself from a freelancer, or people would keep on messaging him about it, and he wanted to do content creation. Good luck out there, gamer. Be free from the basement. So they're still on good term. He made it sound like he's not working with her anymore because she's difficult or something. Huge announcement. I'm opening up my video commission again. Availability for hire. MVs, highlight thumbnails, and portfolio works in the thread down below. DM for race and inquiries. Good luck out there, gamer. Be free from the basement. Thank you for everything over the last 2 years. I will truly cherish all of the memories, content we've made together.
Like was shown in Nano's section, artist number 1 wanted to discuss a permanent, paid position with us, and suggested some kind of exclusivity for the work they did. Just like with Nano, Red handled any business-related discussions with them. This is where the idea to go to Nano about exclusivity came from.
Like, you know, people can lie. Like, plenty of people make it seem like they're on good terms even if they're not. Well, yeah, obviously, because in the entire document we saw that Red and Sinder lied repeatedly. With evidence. However, you have no evidence to sustain this between Bao and Sac. Furthermore, Sac did respond there. If they aren't on good term, why would he respond? He doesn't even need to. He could like the tweet and no one else but Bao would see it. Like, why go this length? Not saying that there's a case, just saying there's a chance. Yeah, but there's a chance with everything in this doc. There's a chance that... This is how, like, conspiracy theories think. There's a chance the sky falls tomorrow. There's a chance the world explode in 2 weeks. Yeah, there's also a chance that people aren't lying either. That's like saying nothing. Okay, we're about artist number 1 again.
Artist number 1 messaged Red the morning after pitching their idea to him about our video editor, and then said they'd be willing to offer some kind of exclusivity due to competitiveness in the field. In the brief conversation Red and I had about it, we agreed that if we were going to pay them consistently for their work, like my video editor, we'd want to work at some kind of exclusivity with them. Sounds like someone canceling a Red, but he wrote it.
Sounds like someone canceling Red, but he wrote it. Thank you for the 13 months, Royal Onion. I realized that I didn't have to reread it after Juan read it, but whatever. Just for good measures, I did. This is the screenshot from yesterday, isn't it? I was wondering, the editor you have on payroll, do you have some sort of non-compete exclusivity agreement with them? For example, assuming it's...
Did Val do anything bad to them? To warrant hate?
No. Not yet. Well, she made Sacramore go exclusive with her, and they blame her for it. But according to Sac, this was his decision. Sorry. So, Redactus says... no, sorry. The artist is saying, for example, assuming it's redacted name, he can only edit for you and Bao or something. Red says, it is censor name, and with him, it's kind of just a spoken agreement thing. We offered him to be exclusive, but he didn't take us up on it. But yeah, he's just us and Bao. I was asking because I had some time to think about our convo yesterday, reflecting on competitiveness in the field and staying at the top. And I thought that in the event we do work something out, I'd be willing to offer some sort of VTuber non-compete / exclusivity policy on some type I work to. So he wants an exclusivity fee for Sinder. He says this is something Sinder and I were thinking about, so we didn't get to talk about it much though. Next part. I'm putting this in the Nuro Juan. Did it work? Latex.
The next time Red and I talked about this, he said we should ask Nano for some kind of exclusivity too. Nano had suggested exclusivity to him in September, and talking to artist number 1 gave him the idea to ask her about it again. Red and I had agreed we should ask Nano to not accept any more brand new model clients, and to not make models or outfits for Silvervale anymore. Nano would have more time to work on my projects, and Silver wouldn't be able to get another model from Nano, and I wouldn't be compared to her if she chose to get a new one from someone else. Her artwork commissions and projects with her current model clients wouldn't be touched. As for the exclusivity with artist number 1, Red and I had only agreed that we wanted to have it for their work, and didn't talk about naming anyone to them.
I feel like I've read this before. Am I crazy? Oh, it's just that they reused this part. Okay, so this part I'll remove, and this goes here. But now they're switching to Nano and Silvervale, but we're in the Bao section, so I'm confused.
This was when Nano and Red made their exclusivity deal. I didn't know Red was planning to talk to her about it that day, or even knew he had until after they had already come to an agreement, without my involvement. Red brought this up to Nano in their private DMs, and not in our project server chat where all 3 of us were. This quote from my apology refers to this deal I made. We had come to the conclusion that it'd be in my best interest to talk with Nano about making more time for my projects by negotiating with her to cut out other work. This was wrong for us to push onto her, and it was wrong to the other creators who wanted the chance of working with her. There was only one specific creator we were responsible for naming and pressuring Nano into reconsidering projects with, not an entire list. I should have said negotiating with her to take on less work. We were never thinking about asking her to cut out or cancel anything she already had planned. In Nano's and Bao's documents, this conversation was presented out of order and purposely left out information.
What? I'm also getting déjà vu. Why am I getting déjà vu for this sentence? Okay, never mind. This conversation below is presented out of order in Nano's and Bao's document. This was the second out of 4 total times with 3 different artists I had ever specifically asked anyone to not work with someone else, which are all presented in this document. In this instance, I was in negotiation for an exclusivity deal. Would you open to some kind of model exclusivity deal? This is the 2025 conversation. I don't mind taking it, just not trying to make the deal fair. I have some ideas. I got some ideas, I guess. The main thing we're looking for is for you not to take on any brand new model clients and not to make any new model outfits with silver again.
Red, what I told Nano we were looking for was exactly what Sinder and I agreed to. Not taking on any brand new model clients, and not to make any more models or outfits with silver veil. Existing model clients and artwork commissions wouldn't be affected. This was so Nano would have more time to focus on our projects, and was the only other time since November 2023 that I ever mentioned anything about the value of Nano's models. The more there were, I wanted to preserve the value of existing Nano models, like Sinder's, and the more models Nano accepted, the more recurring clients she'd have, meaning she'd have less time for any projects we may ask her to for. Models were the most time-consuming thing she did. We never considered including and cutting off any of Nano's existing model clients since many of them were our friends, besides Silver. Sinder has always been supportive of anyone who's debuted a model by Nano. We're going to need a bingo card for next chapter.
Yes, we are. Bao was given evidence that they were talking bad about her behind her back to multiple different people. Of course she would want to go public this to clear her name, obviously. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm gonna take a shot every time I hear the word model. You're gonna be so wasted by the end of this. Mom, are we there yet? We're 88 out of 115. It's actually not going so bad today because there were several pages at the beginning that were like pure on copy paste. Well, I think the main thing we're looking for are for you not to take on any brand new model clients to make any new model outfit for Silver Veil again. You'd still be able to work on models outfit for all your other existing babies, and your artwork comms wouldn't be affected. So their defense here is that we didn't, well, Red mostly is like, Cinder didn't know, and I didn't push Nano to cancel Bao's model. I only pushed her to blacklist Silver Veil. I want to see if this is copy pasta before we read it. No, we're safe with this one. All right, Juan, you got this.
I chose to include Bao's name to get even with her for what I thought she did to us, and I threw Cotton's name in there for hurting a friend and because I knew she was on Nano's wait list in the past.
So he did. Okay,
Neither
my
of
bad.
them were ever discussed with Sinder, and Sinder strongly disagreed with what I thought about Bao, but if I was going to make a deal with Nano then I wanted to try to include Bao at the very least. Including their names here was entirely on me. I didn't want them to be able to get a model from Nano, but I wasn't looking to have her cancel anything on anyone. I knew Nano didn't have anything lined up with Silver. The last time I heard she had Cotton down for a model was when she cancelled it in 2023, and I was under the impression that Bao moved on to another artist after Nano cancelled on her the first time in August, since that was the last time Nano mentioned it.
I really feel like I read this before. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, that's because it is. It's the exact same fucking paragraph. Scuffed ass dog, man. So my bad. It's worst. Then he did ask for Silver, Bao, and Cotton to be blacklisted, and his defense is just that Cinder didn't knew. And he also claims that his hesitancy and Nano's reassurance were both left out of Nano's and Bao's document.
What Red describes in Nano below was his incorrect theory about Bao making her editor Sakuramore go exclusive with her because of Boss Rush's music video he made. I knew he thought this way in December but I never agreed with him and he held it against her. I was completely unaware that any of this was told to Nano. I should have talked to Bao about it but I never did.
But doesn't this contradict what he said above, where he said about not wanting to have her stop working on models because they were friends except Silver? His weird-ass excuse is that he didn't think that they were... that Bao and Cotton had models lined up with Nanoless, so it wouldn't have affected them. But if it wouldn't have affected them, then why are you adding them to the blacklist? And yeah, it does contradict him. I suggest doing Numi after Bao. It is extremely short in this doc. Oh, that's a really good tip. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I will do that. Because none of this can leave our chat. I wanted to understand it better, especially if I cancel her for the second time. But what about the Numi, if I do the Numi and Shy Lily bit at the same time? Or is the Shy Lily one really long? Well, with Silver, she's given a lot of bias and priority at gamer sub, sometimes over Cinder, and we can really confront them about it. And that's the part where, and Cotton hurt one of our friends pretty bad, and I can't really say much about it, since that's not my drama to get into. So this is the part that was redacted from the initial screenshots, and then this part in yellow was also taken out. Where she's, you know, she's like, I'd rather work with Cinder than Bao, don't worry, being Cinder's mom means a lot to me. And Red is like, well, we love working with you, Cinder wouldn't be Cinder without Nano. Okay, but like, let me tell you the tea about the NV thing, and then he shit talks Bao. Nano's, is this copy pasted from the previous section as well? Yes. Yes, it's word for word. The image of the chat from Nano's document, the message about Cotton edited out. All of a sudden he changed his mind and is only working about going forward, no explanation. And then she's like, oh shit, oh that's super weird. He's telling her all of his headcanon. Oh, it's literally it, lol. And then Red says, this really reads like a hostage note. Is this a duplicate too? Yeah, it is. Just want to make sure. Yeah, it is. Alright, this is duplicate 2. Well, at least I know if I ever revisit those notes that, like, I only have to check one of them and not both. I asked to be anonymous and select separate from being known as a freelancer. No one does this. No one decides to do this on their own. This was 2 weeks after Bus Rush came out. Yeah, it's just pretty weird, lol, Nanoless says. And now she's been barking up the tree of our L2D animator, so like, and you, and Nano Model. Yeah, looking for me, San says, for sure. It's so annoying, I don't know, man. Oh, he has a way of guilt-tripping people to get her way. We can do a deal. Like, I'll cancel my model with Bao, like, forever. Nano said, oh, we can do a deal. I'll cancel my model with Bao, like, forever. And then I suggest to pay for her model rigging and return below. Yes. Okay, this is another thing he does, and I said the same thing yesterday, but... He makes it sound like he's had like these things are disjointed. Like she said, yes, she says that we can do a deal and I'll cancel my model with Bao after you told her how Bao had like sabotaged them and was trying to screw Sinder's project, etc., etc. And this is the whole thing with the model rigging. This is the exact same bit as yesterday. So we already hashed this out. Yup, exact same paragraph 2. That one's good to go. The demon Sinder. This was... Okay, whatever. Okay, all of this bit is just copy-pasted again. Alright. I'm gonna check this too now. Okay, this is copy pasted 3 times. Demon Cinder is purple. Rima copied
Demon
Cinder.
Cinder is purple equals Rima copied Cinder.
This is also in the last segment. Yep. I'm not reading this fuck-ass screenshot again. We spent enough time on that yesterday. This is him saying that, like, he could have had the chance of blacklisting Bao here, but he didn't take it. No other thoughts on Silver Valorant, like what I told Nano. I didn't bother to bring up Cotton's name. Oh no, so he did. He did blacklist Bao and Silver to these artists as well. Oh wow, okay. No, he did. Never mind. Even when I try to be charitable to Red, he proves me that he's the worst. My bad. Owuzu in a single person. The next day, artist number 1 sends Red a document that laid out everything in their agreement. Artist number 1 said a written agreement to go over. As far as I remember, there was a carve-out for both Silver and Bao. I didn't push for this to be changed, regardless of what I said the night before. They were the clients already. And what is a carve-out? Does it mean it got removed from the contract, or there was a clause to blacklist them? What does that mean? This is also a duplicate of the nano section. This feels like a Lord of the Ring book series. Except Lord of the Ring is actually good. And the characters in it are likable. This is like when you need to write 5,000 words for your essay at school and you gotta pad it. Carve out means that there was an exception, so the opposite of whatever clause was being carved out. Okay, so it was... So they weren't blacklisted in this case. Nano cancelled the exclusivity deal she made with Fred about a month after it was made so she could work with Silver. The conversation with Fred wasn't included at all in Nano's document. Only my DMs with her. Nano faced no repercussion from either of us for going back on her word. I am sure that I read this sentence before. Why didn't Finder find it? Nani desu ka? Am I crazy? Okay, it's just that there's a little bit less words. Nano cancelled the exclusivity deal she made with Fred about a month after it was made so she could work with Silver. This conversation with Fred wasn't included at all in Nano's document. Only my DMs with her. Nano faced no repercussion from either of us for going back on her word. Sorry, editor, I read that part twice for some reason. This is another duplicate screenshot where basically Nano is saying, I don't really care about Bao and Cotton, talking about they're referring to doing their model. And this, in terms of public opinion, might be one of the most damning screenshot for Nano. That and the other one where she is like, I'm gonna fucking cancel all... I want a fee for canceling all these lists, and then she ends up canceling them anyway for nothing. There's no way this is all duplicates, right? This starts with Nano message me and ends with it's against her like always. Okay, yeah, it is a duplicate. Quote from my apology. When Nano had messaged me about this agreement almost a month later, I was under the assumption this was only about Silvervale. I was upset and my initial message to her were very guilt-trippy, but I wasn't going to force Nano to do anything she wasn't okay with and try reassuring her that it was okay with the decision. Okay, they just copied the pages. Again. Searching Bao and Cut, this is also the same. I remember very vividly. Oh, this is something new. Nice. I like that. Last message with Bao. These are the last messages in my DMs with Bao. Hi Pookie, I know you like Impractical Jokers. Some community members reference them. I think the whole cast got outed for talking to young girls or something. I just wanted to let you know in case you bring it up. And then Sinder says, yeah, I saw the Joe allegations a while ago and just spiraling. Oh no, I know you like the show. I'm so sorry, baby. Being a bad... Okay, maybe we'll make Juan read that part.
Being a bad friend, compromising with Red, and Boss Rush's role after our argument in December. Red and I didn't talk about Bao again until sometime after my Heaven Hound debut. He pressured me not to interact with her professionally anymore. I wasn't going to agree to that, but I didn't want this to cause problems between us at home. Bao was a friend that lived across the country, I only saw every few months, and already didn't do things often with. I lived with Red. So I chose to do just enough to keep the peace, finding a middle ground between us. I didn't plan anything with Bao one-on-one, which we already rarely did. I didn't trade her in the times I was able, and I didn't retweet artwork of us two together on my NSFW Twitter account. Red didn't want to include Bao in anything Boss Rush related either, including collabs.
Bro, he is so mean to Bao. Alright, and now this is Red's explanation. Playtext.
It was wrong of me to push my feelings about Cinder's friend onto her and expect her to essentially cut her off. Initially in December, I didn't want Sinder, the brand, to interact with Bao's at all. I didn't want Bao to be included in anything Boss Rush related either because I thought their music video was the motivation to make Sacco exclusive. I took what I thought happened as Bao acting against all three of the girls, not just Sinder. After my deal with Nano I considered us even, and by the time Nano walked her deal back I didn't care to find out if Bao's model was still cancelled. I wasn't angry at Bao anymore, just soured on her. I eased up on my feelings towards her with Sinder as months went by, but the way things had been was the way they stayed. I was eventually open to the idea of a 6-person Boss Rush song with all of Cinder's friends, including Bao.
Okay. Red you could have just summarized this in one sentence by saying you're petty and you're crazy.
It was in group activities with her and our friends that I still interacted with and collabed with Bao like always. I was one of the 6 of us that often took the initiative and tried planning things for all of us to do together. With friends like these, who needs enemies?
Yeah, for real. For real. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Hey Sinder, I know it's a bit stressful dealing with girly pop sometimes when our schedule clash, etc. You put so much work into forming collabs and stuff for Boss Rush and girly pop. It's probably a bit tiring. I want to say sorry about today. My goal is to always be there for my friends when they need and hopefully make it easier, not harder. Sorry again, have a good stream. Sinder responds, girl, you don't have to be sorry at all. I knew it would be a little challenging during holiday and flu season, but I'm not upset or anything. I'd much rather have everyone together when y'all are feeling good and don't have to worry about travel or other obligations. It's always so much fun hanging out, so I definitely don't mind rescheduling or doing different things with smaller groups. Rest up and feel better soon. I really appreciate you noticing. I want to do my best for us to have a good time. Oh my god, we're almost done with this section. We might have time for the Numi bit.
I didn't talk to Bao outside of our friends group chats unless she messaged me first, but the same was already true for her before my disagreement with Red, and for almost all of my other friends for a long time, like I explained in the accountability section of this document. Besides our group chat, the exception to that was with Boss Rush. Since Boss Rush's inception in March 2024, I've gotten to be much closer friends with Tricky and Vienna than with other friends. After our first song premiered at the end of November, I chose to focus on doing more together with them. It was much easier to plan things between the 3 of us, rather than all 6 of us, because of everyone's conflicting schedules and other things they may have had going on. Boss Rush felt like our version of Bao, Numi, and Shy Lily's Bikini Bottoms group, making music, collabing together, and doing our own thing outside of plans with everyone. Been 12 months of hag loving you, Auntie Rima.
Thank
Red
you.
Heart.
Thank you,
This is
Highfish.
why you don't have your partners or anyone you are personally involved with as a manager. And will
Yup.
bite you in the behind as a brand.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I have a friend that's a musical artist, and they just broke up with their partner who was their manager for 10 years, and it's such a mess having to find somebody else to delegate the contract. It's like really awkward at work right now. And also sometimes the relationship lasts longer than it should, even when it's not working anymore, because there's like a sunk cost fallacy and you're like, fuck, I need this. You know, it's my work too. It's like all becomes intertwined.
Because of this, Red and I felt like Yuzu was left
And
out.
they're hags.
He had the idea early on that we'd like to eventually bring Yuzu into Boss Rush so she would be included in something too. This idea came before he ever had anything against Bao. These are all Red's messages in our Boss Rush group chat where he talked about the idea of Yuzu and a song we'd make with her. The first 2 messages are cropped because they're part of a long string of DMs that aren't relevant.
10 years all gone. Yeah, and the worst part of it is that, well, obviously, one of them is very popular because they're a public figure, and the other one is the person behind the scene. And then you split up all your friends, they're taking sides. So everybody is taking the side of the popular person, and then the other one just kind of gets, like, fucked. It was rough. They took it very roughly. Anyway, that was just a slight tangent. Considering this going on with the 3 of you, and looking like Numi, Bao, and Lily are doing their own music thing with Bikini Bottoms, Yuzu is kind of left out from any group project, so I reached out to her to see if she has any boss model designs coming up. But anyways, if you guys are down, we'd want to include her in the second song as an addition to the Boss Rush group, maybe in the first quarter / half of 2025. This is another message. The third song is the one I had the idea of bringing Yuzu on for more of a redacted word stone, like redacted word song. Just brainstorming ideas. Boss Rush 3, 4, with Yuzu for December. And here another DM. It'd be censored words with censored word skins, censored word song. I haven't figured out solid design plan, but maybe censored.
Anyone says no, Red, and I take that personally.
And true, he is like that. Teams and possibility fit Yuzu.
When we would be looking for a 4th person for our Boss Rush collabs this year, Red would suggest Yuzu. Her being involved alongside Boss Rush would have led up to her being introduced in a new song. It'd be a hint to the fans the same way the frequent collabs between Tricky, Vienna, and I throughout last year were intended to be before Boss Rush debuted. But when I was cancelled, we still hadn't talked to Yuzu about joining Boss Rush or doing a song with us. There was only one collab between us 4 specifically in January, but I did end up playing through Split Fiction with Yuzu in March too. There were 5 Boss Rush collabs, and 5 girly pop collabs that included Bao, since the start of 2025 and before April.
I'm wondering where they're going with this.
In March, Bao asked me and our friends in our group chat about doing a group song together for the end of 2025 in December. I turned her down, but I would have been willing to do one next year. It wasn't because of Red, and it wasn't because I didn't want to. I had 6 to 7 music projects already lined up for this year, with one of the most important being Boss Rush's song with Yuzu projected for December already. I know it doesn't mean much without all the details of what they are, or who they were supposed to be with, but this was my music release schedule for this year when Bao asked.
So they're listing 7 projects that she was supposed to do.
The Boss Rush projects in August and December were planned to be much bigger endeavors, similar to the first song's launch. Boss Rush's song for October might have been pushed to 2026 to have more time for December's song, and that's what my focus was on. I didn't want Boss Rush's December release to conflict with the project Bao wanted to do together. I know the time investment needed to put music projects together and how difficult it is to get myself to record my own vocals sometimes. I didn't want to sacrifice the plans I already had for this year and commit to another song. Even Numi said no to Bao at first because of her own schedule. I was removed from this chat when the documents were posted, so I don't have screenshots of anything from it. With how much more I was doing and planning with mine and Bao's other friends within our same friend group, and because of how I was neglecting her, Bao felt isolated, also evident from her tweets in March.
My friends are busy, they do not hate me. My friends are busy, they do not hate me. My friends are busy, they do not hate me. My friends are busy, they do not hate me. That's after she got turned down for the bus rush thing. Or, for her own music project. Feeling alone in a crowded room sucks so bad.
We still did things together as a big group, even though I chose to turn down the group's song, and Numi never seemed to have a problem with a few of us doing things separately, but I understand how Bao must have felt. I wasn't including Bao in any of my own things, and when our friends had free time, it went towards our plans together, without her. Numi said Bao confided in her about me and the way she thought I felt about her, but never did Bao try talking to me directly about how she felt. The same way I didn't talk to her about Red's feelings. I was neglectful of Bao and my friendship with her, and ignorant of how the things I did, and did without her, were making her feel. I stayed quiet and gave in to Red, hoping he would move on over time, never knowing what he did and said behind my back. I was an awful friend to Bao for months when she didn't deserve it.
Dude, poor Bao, man. She doesn't deserve any of this. Bao posted her document just 6 minutes after Nano posted hers at 1:48 EST. She had already removed Red and I as friends on Discord and blocked us both on Twitter. This is a message I sent to another close friend at the end of December. Ironically, I didn't have healthy communications with my friends. I couldn't open up to them or talk to them about difficult subjects. I never spoke to Bao about anything that was going on. In the next section, I go over how my lack of communication hurt Numi too. I love when friends have healthy communication. Ugh, it feels so good. Wait, it's still 32 pages. And I don't know if I have it in me to do this right now. I'm kind of getting tired. And we're 3 hours in. I feel like I won't be able... Like, I'll be able to read it, but I won't be able to think and analyze it. But I feel really bad for Bao. Is it okay if I do this tomorrow instead? Yeah, there was zero proof that Bao was mean in there. There was only proof that Red was mean. But I guess their section mostly focused on claiming that Sinder wasn't aware. That was probably the intention, TBH. That's what makes it a Gish Gallop. The Gish Gallop is something that was mentioned in the attempted community note. It's an attempt to... What is Gish?
Just do it. Think later. Be Red, Rima. Go rest.
Thank you. Gish Gallop definition. It's a rhetorical technique in which a person uses an overwhelming number of arguments, many of which may be weak, inaccurate, or irrelevant, to drown out their opponent in debate.
Warning. Your sanity score is getting low.
True, Professor Keen. That is true, because then afterward, you kind of go, you have, as the person arguing against this, it's like you have to do even more work because you got to break it down line by line. It's like going uphill constantly. It's a rapid fire delivery, makes it impossible for the opponent to respond to every point with a limited time, creating the appearance of having a stronger case through sheer quantity rather than quality of arguments. The term was coined in 1994. Characteristic of the Gish Gallop: volume over validity, rapid delivery. The arguments are presented quickly in a long and broken stream, making it hard to follow and fact check. Well, this one doesn't really apply here. Variety of evidence. The tactic often involves a mix of falsehood, misleading statement, and misinterpretation, and irrelevant comments. Well, that one surely checks. and difficult to refute. An opponent cannot possibly address every false claim or weak arguments in the time allowed, making them appear to lose the debate even if they have a strong case. I do feel like a lot of people read it, but they read it a little bit superficially. And they were very quick to form their opinion on it, whereas some other opinions took a little longer to cook, took a little longer to simmer, and came out a little bit more well done. But still, no one has like taken the time to put the screenshots together to the proof. If I had to make a video on this, I would structure this in a way that is actually like a video essay would be made. Thesis, figuring out the I would start by establishing the definition of the initial accusations. I would go over the main points of the document. I would refute what I believe is wrong. Then I would have to go back point by point to say how this ties back to the initial accusations. And then I would probably go and get some court cases or some other cases that are similar to reaffirm it. Like, I don't know, it'd have to be, it's not, if I ever did a video on this, it wouldn't be like a storytelling like I usually do. It would be more like a video essay, which is what I wanted to do when I first started doing the channel, but it kind of got distracted from it with a thesis. And it would be a 2 to 4 hour video essay. And my editor told me not to give him more of those because we just made 2 like that. It is something that
please treat yourself to a break in the nature of Canada. You need nature to soothe your sanity. Run, Rima. Be free. Stay safe. Stay sane.
Thank you. Is it because of the horse allegations? Oh, this is more like the discovery part of a trial. The investigated part always produces a mountain of trash documents to delay everything. Oh my god, you're so right. This is a really good analogy, actually. It's like you like all these boxes that the lawyers have, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta sort through that. Naydays just followed me on Twitch? Did you just make this account to follow me? Yeah, breakdown parts and more concise. I don't know. And I don't know how Mujin is gonna be able to do it, but he did break down the Atsu document, and the Atsu document was 98 pages, and he put that in a 3-hour video. So if this is 10 times more than the Atsu document, Mujin can't possibly make a 30-hour video. Like, I believe in Mujin because he's really good at making things clear, but I wonder how he's gonna do it. But now that we figured out like a lot of duplicate pages, it might be easier. 50-hour video about this situation. Woo! He said he probably won't unless the girls reply, but he made a tweet earlier saying he will, but he doesn't know when. And I don't know if the girls will reply at this point. In those, most judges put a limit on pages? Oh, really, kitty? Don't worry, 900 pages are a copy and pasted from the first 100? I sure hope that's true. What you're feeling right now is likely the reason behind the lengthy repetition. Makes it harder to really cut through the BS. I feel really tired, and I don't know if it's because yesterday was a big stream, but
if 15 pages equals 1 hour, this 66.67 hours total for 1K.
Stop, dude. That's crazy. This like 200 pages and others just screenshots. Yeah, but the screenshot sometimes is a lot of text too. It's like when we did the... Toast VTuber dude, and I mean, nothing can beat that. They really like to write novels in DMs. It's not bad if Drawn reads the plain text. Today, dude, the TTS really helped today because my voice really hurt.
That's my conspiracy. You can say my red thinking. They made this so long so it's nearly impossible for people like you to make a video as she debuts.
Tinfoil conspiracy. I'm leaning with they're trying to kill me. A lot of people have also stated that it's very convenient that this was dropped during TwitchCon where all the girly pops are there. And I don't know if this was planned, but yeah, convenient. Hi, Rena. I'm actually ending stream, though. Yes, Mystic. This is just the same people that have been after me for months now. I've only addressed them once. I made a video on it. It's on my highlight channel, and it's also linked in my main channel, YouTube. The video is titled something like "They Try to Send Spies in My Discord server." So if you want to be caught up with the situation, make sure to go check out the video. If mods can post the link in the chat, that'd be great. I'm gonna go buy some honey, like, for real. Like, I'm going to buy some today. I should have a tinfoil hat toggle. I think it'd be great. Wait, let me get you the quote from my book today. It's great for the situation, actually.
Birthday stream without this doc mentioned when?
Birthday stream without this doc mentioned when? Saturday.
Reem gets more out of her latest Villanos baka. Winking, face, wink.
True, Captain Coconut. Yo, I just went I didn't throw away my garbage and my dog was in it and he made a huge mess, guys. This is terrible. Fuck. I knew I heard something while I was reading and I thought it was from outside, but it was him. He was like knocking it over. Oh my god, he's so fucking dumb. Jesus Christ. It's gonna be such a pain to clean. Okay. So, this is the quote I wanted to read you guys, which kind of reminded me of this and why people have such different opinions. And this guy is like, I don't know, he's running the Freemasons and he's doing a speech. And he says, at that meeting, he was struck for the first time by the endless variety of men's minds, which prevents the truth from ever presenting itself identically to two persons. Even those members who seemed to be on his side understood him in their own way, with limitations and alterations he could not agree to, as what he always wanted most was to convey his thoughts to others just as he himself understood it. Oh no, don't make the shot color jokes! No, I would never put that on him. The shot color would be like so big on him too. That'd be terrible. So what's the deal with Hassan? He actually put a shock collar on his dog? I keep seeing like his friends like trying to defend him and then also getting shit for it. Like, I'm just like, Yeah, maybe you guys shouldn't. Yeah, I don't know why his friends are constantly trying to defend him. It's not even their problem. And it's not even very defendable. Yeah, I saw the cutie Cinderella thing. Oh, she tried to defend him by saying it was a shock collar. Bad defense. And then she denied it? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Oh, it's not 100% sure, but he did use a shock color, but the clip... Oh, so you don't actually see it, maybe, or he doesn't actually state that he did use one. Anyway, whatever. Alright, I'm sending you guys to a stream. I'm gonna go clean up after my dog. Throwing the garbage everywhere. Oh, the circumstantial evidence strongly applies he did use a shock collar. Okay, thank you. Oh, it really is a shock collar, but he removes the prong so it only vibrates. Interesting. So this is the shock collar gate I keep hearing about. Interesting. You need to react to the clips and you'll see. Okay, okay. We can do some reacts soon. I want to react to the new pirate video too. Alright, bye guys.